Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
When companies decide to take shortcuts, the safety of our families are at risk. At Underlaw, we find and expose those shortcuts.
Call Onderlaw Personal Injury Lawyers at 314 or 618 $9
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
With pandemic-related tax credits expiring, people are experiencing refund shock. For your guaranteed biggest refund and 50% off, 50% off is a limited-time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Hey, hello, everybody. What's your specialty today?
How are you today? Nice to meet you.
Hello, everybody. That's a nice, beautiful looking group of people. So I know this menu better than you do, okay? I probably know it better than anybody in here. We're going to take care of the fire department.
Okay.
We're going to take care of the police department.
Pretty hard to hear through that audio. President Trump, it's making its rounds, the audio of him in that McDonald's in East Palestine, Ohio. We didn't really discuss yesterday with the news of the beginning of the process of the removal of Kim Gardner from her position as circuit attorney. We are going to have Attorney General Andrew Bailey in studio here on the Annie Frey Show at 1:25. We're very excited that we were able to get them to come join us and have that conversation here in studio at 1:25, so you're going to want to be here for that. And I would encourage you, if you haven't joined us yet on the Annie Frey YouTube channel, go there. And if you have questions that you want answered regarding the Kim Gardner situation and circumstance, I would love for you to pose those questions in the live chat. We'll get to that in about an hour or so. The president visited East Palestine. Pete Buttigieg has now been to East Palestine. President Trump has been, of course. We haven't seen Joe Biden go. He has cabinet members who are supposed to take some of this load off of his desk so that they can make sure that they're responding and reacting to the things across the country, a gigantic country of 340 million people. You need people to do these things for you. Why does it take Pete Buttigieg 3 weeks to do that? Well, the president, Donald Trump, decided it was in his best interest, the people's best interest, to show up in East Palestine. And I think he was right to do that. Somebody should show up.
I do want to especially thank some of the incredible people that helped us, because we're bringing thousands of bottles of water, Trump water, actually, most of it. Some of it we had to go to a much lesser quality water. You want to get those Trump bottles, I think, more than anybody else. But we're bringing a lot of water, thousands of bottles, and we have it in trucks, and we brought some on my plane today.
So he brought help. He brought aid. Hard to say that that's not the right thing to do. And it would be great if this was not the first political engagement from the country, the people who represent those individuals in government. It would have been nice if somebody else would have showed up sooner. The reports that are coming from, I think Brian Kilmeade was covering this, about the train wreck. You know, there's some vile things that Joy Behar said yesterday, and I will sum up. I'm not going to subject you to her hate because, boy, it's pretty awful. she essentially said that the people of East Palestine voted for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is responsible for the policies that caused this train wreck to happen. So essentially, these people got what they voted for. If you heard that and you're on the left and you feel the need to, this is what I want to tell you. You wouldn't give a millimeter of grace to somebody on the other side suggesting the exact same thing if the words that Joy Behar said came out of a conservative's mouth. You would take twice the leap that people are saying Joy Behar made these comments and suggested that, listen, this is, you get the government that you vote for. You voted for Donald Trump, and this is the type of policy, deregulation. This is what you get. Joe Biden has been in office for 2 years. Pete Buttigieg has been in the cabinet for 2 years as the Secretary of Transportation. If this was such a disaster, why didn't they do what they've done in a million other ways and change it? Why didn't they put in an EO or something and change the policies that they're saying were deregulated under Trump? Not to mention the fact that they have come out and said that the cause of the accident was a broken axle. And the 2 people or whatever that were on this train, they did nothing wrong. So President Trump shows up in East Palestine and he speaks with people. They are happy to see him. And you can tell that this is starting to cause a strong political problem for the people on the ground throughout the country. They can see this is an incredibly unforced error by the Biden administration because all they had to do was show up. All they had to do was be there and honestly, keep your mouth shut and ears open and listen to the experiences that the people are having and tell them that you are there to represent solutions to problems that you need to learn more about. And the best way to learn about it is to be on the ground with them. This is Blue Line Moving owner who was partnering with Donald Trump to hand out water and was there to help support these people from the area talking about Donald Trump.
The fact that President Biden has refused to come to this small town when he's supposed to be Scranton Joe, a small town hero of the working man, and he can't even show his face in a town of American citizens that need his leadership, that need the government's help terribly. And he proved what everybody I think already knew in this country is that he's not the leader for this country and that Donald J. Trump is the leader that we all know he is, and he is the leader of this country. And he proved that today. That was leadership that I saw today.
So people identify leadership. They see it. Donald Trump has an incredible ability to connect with individual people on the ground when things like this are happening. He's done this time and time and time again. The people who actually meet this man speak very highly of his ability to treat these individuals as people who deserve respect and deserve time. Pete Buttigieg, I mean, I just can't, I cannot imagine after the dramatic issues surrounding so many things, like when have we seen this much disaster regarding transportation in this country? It's one crisis after the other. How could Pete Buttigieg, take the words of Eric Holder, never let a good crisis go to waste? How could Pete Buttigieg not see this as a great political opportunity to show up and really, really take the bull by the horns?
In retrospect, should you have come a little sooner?
So, again, in terms of the timing of the visit, I'm trying to strike the right balance, allowing NTSB to play its role, but making sure we're here in that show of support.
Okay. What about...
You mentioned a national political figure who's decided to get involved. It sounds like you're talking about Trump. And then you said, I need your help. How can he help?
Well, one thing he could do is express support for reversing the deregulation that happened on his watch. I heard him say he had nothing to do with it, even though it was in his administration. So if he had nothing to do with it and they did it in his administration against his will, maybe he could come out and say that he supports us moving in a different direction.
Imagine a situation where Pete Buttigieg, assessing his umpteenth crisis as the Secretary of Transportation, takes the time to identify the problem here as Donald Trump's to solve. Imagine living in a country where the people who won the election, right? The people who have been tasked with being in charge of leading the representation of everyday American people, specifically living in Ohio, of leading the charge to provide solutions. And imagine having the spotlight and the opportunity to do that, pointing your finger to the guy who hasn't been there for over 2 years. That's pretty sick. That's not leadership. That doesn't provide answers and solutions to actual, real, immediate struggles that Ohioans are dealing with right now. And this is a catastrophe politically for those people who are in charge right now. And in the meantime, it seems like that's more of a priority in conversation than the actual chemical catastrophe in the soil and water for the people of East Palestine, Ohio. It's pretty amazing to go through this news cycle and to go through this process on a regular basis and still manage to just be like, are you kidding me? How is this surprising? Why should we not expect this? And then you got to ask yourself, when Pete Buttigieg shows up, what kind of experience does he have in order to help solve this problem? It would be great if he would show up and make the answer to that question clear. Maybe he does have the experience. Maybe he has the wisdom to surround himself with people who are wise on these particular issues, and he's able to take the advisement and able to bring this community together. And maybe you don't know how to solve the chemicals in the dirt and water, but maybe you do know how to figure out how to give these people access to safe and secure living quarters in the process. But it took 3 weeks for him to show up. It really is such an incredible travesty. Mike Tobin of Fox News reported on the NTSB findings regarding this train derailment.
Wheel bearings coming into focus as the NTSB releases preliminary findings of its investigation of the February 3rd train wreck. Sensors said the bearings and axle heated up on the 23rd car 215 degrees over 30 miles, a critical stage. An alarm alerted the engineer as the train was slowed and auto brakes kicked in, the wheel bearings failed, and the train derailed.
This was 100% preventable. We call things accidents. There is no accident.
The 23rd car was hauling plastic pellets, which combined with the hot axle to start the fire. The report states the fire was mitigated by February 5th, but responders noticed the temperature of one car containing the hazardous vinyl chloride was still increasing and at risk of exploding. The decision was made by Norfolk Southern to blow holes in the cars and burn off the hazardous material.
Well, we continue to have more questions, I think, than we have answers. We continue to see finger pointing and not getting answers to these actual issues. We continue to work through day after day after day of more people having questions. There are people from East Palestine coming on the news, and they have like rashes. The things that are being reported, the experiences of these people, I'm looking at it going, there's no way in hell that I would be staying in this area. There's no way that I wouldn't just say, kids, get in the car. We're going to start driving east or west, probably west, and we're just going to go. And if we need to sleep in the car, we're going to sleep in the car. That all costs money. If these people don't have the funds to make that possibility and they feel as though they have no choice, wouldn't you say that's the little guy? Wouldn't you say that's who the people on the left have been advocating and acquiring and accessorizing their campaigns with over the course of every 2-year cycle to say that, you know, you need us, you need to elect us on the left so that we can advocate for you? Well, this is your chance. Advocate. Does it matter who the people vote for? Does it matter who the people who you need to help? If they're impoverished, isn't that who you want to work for? You know, the fair share crap that we spew all the time. Does it matter if their skin is white or black? Because if it does, that's racist. Why are we not helping these people? Why do we not have the answers that we deserve on the safety and security of this area? And what's being done to make sure this doesn't happen somewhere else? It's definitely a dramatic problem for the state of Ohio, and it's going to continue to be an even more dramatic political problem for this administration. As I mentioned earlier, very excited to have the Attorney General of the state of Missouri in studio at 1:25. Andrew Bailey will be in here, and we're going to talk to him a lot about the announcement that he made yesterday. He gave Kim Gardner, the circuit attorney here, until noon yesterday to resign. He said, resign or be removed. Noon passed. She had not resigned. He came out, followed up on his promise and his commitment to act, and gave a press conference and said that this was what was going to happen. She would be removed. It goes into the courts now, and he has to make his case in the court. We're going to ask him what those details are. What's the process? Because yesterday there are people who are saying, Andrew, they're like literal headlines, national headlines. Andrew Bailey fires Kim Gardner, circuit attorney. Well, she's an elected official. She needs to be removed. He believes, the authority to go through the correct process to cause that removal to occur. What is that process? Is he confident that he can bring the case in order to make that happen? And what's going to happen in this city if he is successful? Because if you listen to that press conference yesterday, I listened to it again because I was listening to Mark Reardon on my way home yesterday, and he was playing clips from it. And listen, that was intimidation. I think that's a huge, huge problem. You have a press conference. Kim Gardner has a press conference, and the people shouting the questions are seemingly not reporters. They're supporters of Kim Gardner's. And if anybody else asks a question, they get shouted down and harassed at a press conference. Who is in that room representing the people of St. Louis? Who in that room is representing Janae, who doesn't have her legs now because of Kim Gardner and apparently the entire system's ineptitude to keep bad people off the streets? Is the whole system messed up? Well, these are all questions for Andrew Bailey in studio here with us on the Annie Frey Show at 1:25. We're going to take a quick break. Very exciting guest coming in here in the studio. Again, we have been featuring a lot of these comedians going to the Funny Bone. And Kevin Farley is a stand-up comic, actor, filmmaker, and podcaster. His podcast is Kevin Farley on the Road. You can go to kevinfarleyofficial.com to learn more about him. He's at the Funny Bone Streets of St. Charles Saturday at 7 and 9:30, as well as Sunday at 7. And he's in studio with the Annie Frey Show when we come back. Can't wait to sit down and meet with Kevin Farley here in just a minute. So do not go away. We'll be back right after this.
I'm Howard Mackler of GetRefunds.com. You may have heard me talk about the payroll tax refund program that gives businesses up to $26,000 for every employee they kept on payroll during COVID. But today, I'm not going to do the talking. I'm letting a real Get Refunds client tell you everything.
I'm Evan, owner of Laveau DWI Law. I heard about the payroll tax refund and GetRefunds.com on the radio. When COVID hit my business, everything shut down. Revenue, phone calls, all business. The new cost of operating during COVID hit hard too. I had to personally fund my business. GetRefunds.com got me approved for a payroll tax refund, and with that money, allowed me to recoup losses and costs, even where I had positive income in the later quarters of COVID recovery. If you have a business, you should go to GetRefunds.com and start your claim right now.
GetRefunds.com helped their business, and we can help yours too. Go to GetRefunds.com and see if you qualify in just 8 minutes. GetRefunds.com, powered by Innovation Refunds.
So when you are purchasing a home on the Illinois side of the river, you want somebody who knows that area very well. Jen Teskey is the solution with RE/MAX Alliance. I adore Jen Teskey. I love how hard she works for her clients. Buying or selling in Illinois, Jen Teskey and her team are top notch. They know exactly how to position your home that you're selling for the quickest, best sale. They know how to help you navigate what do we fix up, what do we not fix up. They know how to make sure that you are fully prepared and to relieve some of that stress that often comes along with that whole process. Realty is complicated and it can be stressful. It's going to be very exciting as well. When you attach your buying and selling experience to Jen Teskey and her amazing team at RE/MAX Alliance, you are going to be able to have an enjoyable experience through the whole process. She has 15 years of experience helping families with selling and buying of homes and a dedicated team of professionals. We're going to treat you like family and have you recommending Jen Teskey and her team to your friends and family. Like I said, she's with RE/MAX Alliance. You can call her or text her at 618 618-541-1010. That's 618-541-1010.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
Joe and Bobby Sue, two young lovers with nothing better to do than sit around the house, get high and watch a tube. And here's what happened when they decided to cut loose. They headed down to old El Paso. I swear they ran into a great big hassle. Billy Joe shot a man while robbing his castle. Bobby Sue took the money and run.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We are happy to spend this beautiful Friday in St. Louis with you. The sun is shining. It's too cold outside, but I can't get the temperature up outside on my own, so we just wait until tomorrow, and then it'll probably be 60 degrees, as is St. Louis. Very exciting guest here in our city today. Kevin Farley is at the Westport St. Louis Funny Bone tonight. The Streets of St. Charles Funny Bone Saturday and Sunday. You can go to stlouisfunnybone.com for tickets, but he's in the studio here with us on the Annie Frey Show right now. Kevin Farley, thank you so much for being in here.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Have you been to St. Louis before many times? What's your experience with the city?
Yeah, I was here last year with the Funny Bone. We did the Funny Bone over there, and so this is my second time with them, and I'm having a ball. I love the club, and yeah, it's good. It's a good time.
Well,
I love St. Louis.
We appreciate it. We love having people come to our house. It's a really big, small town is the way we kind of identify it.
I understand that. Yeah, it's got great food, and it's I love the history. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
It's so the architecture is cool. That's what I like is just some of the older buildings.
Very established.
Yeah, I love that, and so much has gone on here from blues and everything else and ribs and everything. So great
blues
food.
and ribs.
Blues and ribs.
Cardinals baseball.
Cardinals and blues. Yeah.
That kind
a lot of
great.
It's a great sports town.
Yeah,
it's a great sports town.
So you have a podcast. It's called Kevin Farley on the Road. If people want to check that out wherever podcasts are available, what can you tell us about your podcast if people want to tune in to listen to that?
Yeah, I have that one and another one called Farley Farm. The Farley, Kevin Farley on the Road. That's just me kind of being on the road, talking about my stand-up and talking about where I've gone and anything that's on my mind, that kind of thing. And the Farley Farm is another one that I'll be coming out with soon. With my wife and I talk about our 6 dogs.
You have 6 dogs.
Yeah,
I have
too
4
much.
4 children.
Yeah.
Which is more difficult, you think? 4 kids or 6 dogs?
Well, I mean, there's a lot more pressure with kids. So, yeah, but dogs have their own kind of. You're just a little worried, when the one, like we just had one get sick, and the hard thing is that I wish they could talk, I mean, like,
give
what's
you a little
wrong
more
with you?
intel on
Yeah, let me know what's wrong with you. You don't know what's wrong with them, so you just kind of guess, I guess, but.
It's very similar with children.
It's very similar, yeah.
It's
you
very
just sort of like, I'm not a doctor, so you just, you're a veterinarian, so you just got to guess, and Yeah, we had one that got real sick, and when some of these veterinarians, when they can't figure it out, I think their solution is just like, well, maybe you ought to put it.
That's different with children.
Oh yeah, you can't put a
That's
child
not what the
down, no.
pediatrician says.
But I was like, no, I'm not putting my dog down. So we kind of stuck it out, and by golly, he pulled through.
That's fantastic.
So it was like a miracle dog.
What kind of dogs? What are the ages?
That one right there is Humphrey. He's 3, and he's a Shih Tzu. He's funny, but he's much better now. So he's just got to take meds.
Yeah, 3.
And then I have a Chinese Chin, who's a Japanese Chin. Sorry, his Albert. He's kind of mean. He's getting older. His bones don't.
Humphrey, Albert,
Gracie, Doug. And we have a Pomeranian dog.
I was going to say, these sound like really regal, established dogs.
Yeah.
But then there's Doug.
Oh, yeah, Doug. Doug's a special Pomeranian.
He seems like he would be relatable.
He's not. I wouldn't touch Doug. Doug's
a mistake that people
Doug's kind of nasty. Doug fights with the other dog. We have Popper and Peppy. They're other 2 Poms, and Doug bites Pepper all the time. We're trying to break them up all the time. Everybody hates Doug, I don't know why. I love Doug. Doug's
Everybody
my favorite.
hates Doug.
Doug's my favorite. I named him Doug just because he looked like a Doug, and so I named him Doug. But everyone can't stand him. Everybody's like, "Get out of here, Doug!"
That kind of.
They're always yelling at
you
Doug.
You could hear that in an office anywhere at any given day.
Get out of here, Doug! Right? There's a lot of Dougs.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, Doug.
So you are, as we said, at Westport Funny Bone tonight. You were at the Streets of St. Charles Saturday and Sunday. We're speaking with Kevin Farley. He's a stand-up comic, actor, filmmaker, podcaster, of course, we're discussing here. What is stand-up with Kevin Farley? What kind of subjects do you like to talk about? A lot of dogs in there?
Yeah, dogs, cats, rain, snow. You never know what I'm going to talk about. I mean, I mix it in with a lot of my act, and then I try to improv a little bit. I come from an improv background, so I never know what I'm going to talk about a lot of times, but then I have a set act. So, I mean, it's a lot about my life growing up and also my life now with 6 dogs, and I have a stepson who's into football and a wife who runs the show pretty much. Yeah.
It's a good wife.
She does. Yeah. I think that's the best way to go is that let your wife run the show.
Yeah. That's what my husband says. I told him to.
Yeah. I don't try to mess with it. Because she's definitely in charge. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind it that way.
She's not here, You don't have to say these things.
Well, she'll listen to this, and then I'll get in trouble.
You're like, put the point on the board.
Yeah, exactly.
I want the credit.
Right, exactly.
Kevin Farley in here with us right now. You can go to kevinfarleyofficial.com to learn more about Kevin. You talked about your life, things you maybe experienced growing up. How do you feel like sometimes I feel like comedians want to be as relatable as possible to their audience, and then other ones have the knack of being like completely unrelatable, and then the audience gets to be a little voyeuristic and looking at the other side, someone who's willing to stand on stage with a microphone and just let it fly.
No, I've never been that. I've been kind of the guy that I try to show people who I am in reality on stage. I've never been a real like combative or controversial comic. I'm just I try not to be, I mean, I might say something controversial. I don't know, but I try not to be. I just try to be myself as much as I can on stage and talk about what's affecting me during the day or my life, But I've never been one to like be overly political or anything controversial. I just never really gravitated that way. I don't know why. I'm also just kind of scared.
Well, that's kind of part of my next question is in comedy. We talk about this a lot. I feel like the last hope for free speech in this country, there are 2 places: comedians and pastors. And I hope that they both speak truth.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether you are a believer in something or, whatever the religion is, you have to be able to speak truth there. That can't be moldable because the world said so. That's the opposite. But in comedy, if you are afraid, then you kind of you pull your punches a little bit, right?
Well, I don't know. For some reason during COVID, I thought that I found out pretty quickly that stand-up comedy was pretty non-essential, and we kind of got told to sit down, and we got shut down there for a while. That was a little weird for me to see because everything was cooking along pretty well, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I can't go out or I can't do my job, which was weird. So that was the first kind of opening up where I'm like, wow, yeah, this whole freedom of speech thing, it does kind of center around comedy. I mean, we're kind of like ground zero for this whole thing.
I mean, I grew up, I'm 38, so I grew up born in the early 80s and grew up in the 80s and the 90s. And I was raised in a sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, words are like the worst thing in the world right now. If you use the wrong word, if you say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Does that factor into what you do and how you do it?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, I live and die by the words. So I notice it. Any comedy person is aware of it, all the time. So, I mean, I think that though there's room in this country for everything. I think that you might have people go after you and you're probably not going to avoid that.
Yeah.
So I try not to be afraid of it and just keep going because there's going to be some people that I've already seen that where some people I don't want anything to do with that guy.
Sure.
But I'm all right with that. I got thick enough skin. I grew up with 5 brothers, we used to
talk to us about your family.
We used to go after it pretty good, so I can take it.
We have Kevin Farley in studio right now. That name is certainly familiar, and you are Chris Farley's brother.
That's right, yeah.
Talk to me about being Chris Farley's brother, or maybe talk to us about what it was like for Chris to be Kevin Farley's brother.
Right. Well, it's a weird place to be in, being the brother of a famous brother. It's like a weird club to be in. It's like me and Roger Clinton,
Do you guys do like tea, coffee?
Yeah, Don Swayze's in our club. He's pretty cool, yeah. Some of the Baldwin brothers, those guys. Yeah. It's a weird club.
You guys got some great stories.
I'll see Stephen Baldwin once in a while and be like, hey, how are you?
Yeah,
we sort of relate to one another. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. He was pretty famous, so people kind of want him. Sometimes want me to be like him. Like, hey, I got a table. Will you, jump on that and maybe.
Like, that's not my thing.
Yeah, you pull up your shirt, and I'm like, I'm not gonna.
Why would I do that?
I don't want to do that. I don't know why Chris did that, but I don't want to do that. So I think people want me to do all the bits sometimes, like fat guy in a little coat, like they want me to do that, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
You got 3, but you're one of 5 brothers.
Right.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
What about
5 kids, 4 boys? Yeah.
Where did you rank in?
I was lower middle.
Yeah.
So weird.
So you're a middle child. I'm a middle child.
Yeah. I didn't get any attention.
Yeah, I understand.
So,
Wait, as middle children, you want to just spend the rest of the show talking about?
Are you middle?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Of 3.
Yeah, I feel bad for middles.
Yeah, you should.
We get of 3. Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Well, we're the weird ones. We got passed over.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's probably why you're in radio. You want to be heard.
I know. I had to get
You
this
want to be
freaking
heard.
microphone.
Somebody better listen to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. My parents are probably listening right now going, oh, the middle child thing again. There she goes.
I got an opinion.
It's refining, though. Don't you think that you grow up a middle child, you see the world a little differently? You do with it whatever you do, but
yeah,
you have to make a choice.
Yeah. I think being the middle, we do get kind of I'm the weird one. We're troublemakers, so because we want to be heard, we're always glossed over. So
I love this. This is my favorite interview, and I'm going to interview the Attorney General here in a little bit.
So I think being the middle, and I'm kind of lower middle, so yeah, you do have that complex. You want to be heard all the time, and so
Where was Chris in the order?
He was right in the smack in the middle. We're 5, so he's right in the middle. That's why he was. They made a movie Black Sheep for that reason, So, he was definitely out there. Yeah. He didn't feel he was heard enough. Yeah.
And he definitely
and
was.
He's like, I'll show you how much I'll be heard.
Kevin Farley in the studio with us right now, stand-up comedian. He is going to be tonight at the Westport Funny Bone, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday at the St. Charles Funny Bone. Check tickets. You need to hurry up and get them. I can't tell you enough how much the Funny Bone, if you haven't experienced a stand-up show at the Funny Bone yet, and there's any barrier of, I don't think that's for me, it is absolutely for you. You need to go sit down and you need to laugh. We all need to laugh. There's way too much in the world right now that we're rightfully so taking seriously. Laughter can just do so much good for your soul. I was talking to you, Kevin, about the ways that people can use their free speech on a stage at a comedy show to really get to some straight issues. There's also just the need to laugh. Just to find humor in anything. Right.
There's a lot of serious issues going around, and I think we're getting too serious, And I do think that there's definitely places we can laugh. So, Yeah, it's important to let it all go and try to find a place where we can both kind of chuckle at it, because there's also a lot of not we can change. You have to learn, like, what you can change and what you can't change.
Do we take ourselves too seriously?
I think in this country, sometimes, yeah, sometimes, but you wouldn't want a real goofy country either. That'd be kind of weird with a goofy flag and
Yeah. There's
some
also,
kind of like weird, goofy cartoon flag. No, I'm glad we don't have that, but. Yeah, I think we could lighten up a little bit for sure.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Who are some of your favorite comedians that are out there that you enjoy listening to, or is that one of those things like if you're in the business, you don't?
Oh no, I find a lot of guys
shop
great.
around? Who do you?
Yeah, every day I find, like, lately I've been listening to Sam Morril. I love Sam, and I love. Some of those guys, Tim Dillon, I listen to sometimes. He's a good friend of mine, and those guys are just great. They're coming up with some great stuff. It's, Mark Norman, those kind of guys. I listen to those guys, lately, and I think they're great. They're really doing well.
You have 2 podcasts, like I mentioned earlier, Kevin Farley on the Road, and you said the next one is Farley Farm?
Farley Farm,
That's
my wife
the dog
and I.
one.
Yeah, that's the
your
dog
wife.
one, yeah.
Has podcasting kind of reinvented comedy a little bit?
Yeah, I think it has. I think that, the comedy goes through different phases. I come from a improv world where it's much more long form and conversational. It's sort of like that now with stand-up, where podcasting is real conversational like we're doing right now. And a lot of the people's shows are kind of like conversational now, So it's not like the 80s where you had, set up punchline, that kind of thing. So the pace is a little different, yeah. Which is great.
And it's exciting to watch somebody who you can tell is just flowing with the room. Like, they've probably got the staples that are part of the set, but if you're in a room and there's somebody in there who wants to participate in the show and they let them in, it's fun to watch that. It's really entertaining.
Yeah.
And like I was saying at the Funny Bone, you're right there up close, and you get to, Brad, you've been to multiple shows at the Funny Bone.
Yeah. I get to sit up front. Like, the first one I went to was Jamie Lissow, and I sat right up front. And that's the best place to sit. I mean, if you're not worried about somebody making fun of you,
brave place to sit.
Right. But I mean, that was my high school experience, so I'm not worried about it.
Being made fun of?
Yes.
Being made fun of,
yeah. Let's just, but you get to sit up there, they get to crack jokes, you get to hear the crowd behind you. It's just a completely different experience than watching like a Netflix special or something like that. And I like it.
It's great. Yeah. As long as when you're in the front row, don't get on your phone, because that'll throw me off. Like when somebody's like on their phone and yawning. I had a lady fall asleep the other night, which is bad for my comedy. I mean, don't come out because you won't fall asleep. But this lady, I asked her why she fell asleep, and she was she had been drinking. So
Yeah, yes, for sure. You should have led with that.
That's a polite way of putting it.
But yeah, no, if you're in the front row, you gotta get into it a little bit. Yeah.
Well, Kevin Farley in studio with us here on the Annie Frey Show. He's a stand-up comic, actor, filmmaker, podcaster, and he is in our city, and we want to give him that warm welcome tonight at the Funny Bone at at Westport, Saturday and Sunday at the streets of St. Charles. Tickets are going fast. There are not that many left, but we do want to pack that room, give Kevin Farley that good St. Louis welcome, and you will be thanking me afterwards. I get messages from you guys all the time after we have a comedian in here and you go and you're like, that was so great. I needed that so bad. Kevin, the Farley Farm, I need to know more about Doug, so I will be tuning in.
I'll show you Doug. Yeah,
everybody needs a Doug. Get out of here, Doug.
Yeah, get out of here, Doug.
Kevin Farley, thanks so much for being in here. We'll be back with Wiggins America in just a minute.
Let's sit around the house, get high and watch a tube.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show.
I swear they ran into a great big hassle. Billy Joe shot a man while robbing his castle. Bobby Sue took the money and run. Go on, take the money and run.
They say money can't buy happiness, but yes, it does. If you find $5 on the sidewalk, you're pretty happy. Now imagine that happening all the time. With the Upside app, you find cash in places you never expected. Restaurants, grocery stores, gas stations, all the places you go. There's cash back waiting for you to find it. Will Upside solve all your problems? We can't promise that. But it will give you a little something extra so you can treat yourself. And there's nothing like a few unexpected bucks to brighten your day. That's life on the upside. Download it today. Get the free Upside app and use promo code GOODLIFE for an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's promo code GOODLIFE for an extra $10 on the free Upside app. Start living life on the upside with the free Upside app.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions, and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AAMCO.
There are a lot of smart business people out there making smart decisions by getting Rhino Shield. The latest one, the Central Illinois Care Services, they have decided to go with Rhino Shield on the outside of their building so they won't have to worry about maintenance from now on. The list is long. Joe's Tire out in Sullivan, Stonehill Wineries in Herman, they've all got Rhino Shield on their buildings. You can have it on your business or your house. Just call 877-25-RHINO. Let Darren come out and give you a free estimate as to what it would cost to get this great product on your home. 25-year transferable warranty, 100% waterproof, 8 to 10 times thicker than paint, and as a satisfied customer, 15 years in, I can tell you it looks as good as the day they put it on. You're going to love Rhino Shield. Call them right now. Tell them you heard about it on the Mark Cox Morning Show. Again, 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack. So they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1979. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-777-1979. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-777-1979. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-777-1979. 800-777-1979.
Join Mosby Building Arts every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. on 97.1 FM. Rich Orse and guests give insider tips about renovations, design, construction, exteriors, and more. Tune in to Right at Home with Rich on Saturdays or catch the podcast online.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Bundle up and save 20% on new HVAC system and attic insulation. To make your home more energy efficient and to get into your comfort zone, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Filtering the BS pushed by the mainstream media.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Go down Trinidad, they make you feel so very glad. Calypso sing and make up rhyme, guarantee you one real good fine time. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola. Go down Point Kumana, both mother and daughter, working for the Yankee dollar.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Exciting to talk with Kevin Farley here in studio. KevinFarleyOfficial.com is the website, and he is doing several shows here in St. Louis this weekend. Friday, tonight, at the Westport Funny Bone, and then Saturday and Sunday, you can go see Kevin Farley at the St. Charles, the Streets of St. Charles Funny Bone. Great opportunity to go out and have a fun evening. Check out those Saturday and Sunday shows. I don't know. They're close to selling out, but you definitely want to go. You definitely want to go and take in this evening. It's so much fun, and it's something that I would have previously, before I went to the first show that I went to, I would have previously kind of like, I don't know if that's really my thing. And I went and I'm like, this is 100% my thing. And I wish that I would have been going to him for a lot longer. It was a great date night for my husband and I when we went. Let's get to Wiggins America.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! Super down-to-earth guy. Just got to run into him on the way out there. And about as nice as they get. Kevin Farley, I mean, he seems like you would just want to hang out with him as much as anything else.
He was great.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring to your attention that while we on the Republican side have, I would say the front runner right now as far as declared candidates would be Donald Trump. And then we have Nikki Haley, and we have, I'm going to pronounce his last name wrong, but Vivek, I'll just say.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Ramaswamy as the third candidate in. There is no... up until today, declared candidates against Joe Biden, assuming that Joe Biden is even going to run, because we don't know that for sure. Until today, when the Fox News headline broke that Biden has drawn his first Democratic challenger for 2024, it is Marianne Williamson. Do you remember Marianne Williamson from the last time around?
Of course.
Hannah?
I do not know.
I thought maybe not. That's why I asked. She had some of the best quotes.
In 2020, in 2021, and 2020, or excuse me, 2019, what were you doing?
I was in high school. I was a junior in high school.
And you don't know who Marianne Williamson is?
Nope.
Just going to say.
Didn't break in, did she?
Since Ryan kind of called you out there, I wanted to make sure people understood that you were at lunch and recess. Not quite recess, but.
Oh, it's Ryan's fault.
She was out there skipping rope.
I was at prom.
Prom, exactly.
So you weren't paying attention to spiritual advisor and best-selling self-help author Marianne Williamson.
Nope. But now I am.
Now you are.
Lay it on me.
So we are sure to have some more great quotes ahead. But I figured, in these couple minutes that we have here, I'd bring up some of the best quotes from Marianne Williamson's past. And they all are concerning this run that she did in 2019, mostly 2019 and 2020. The first one is when she told us how to achieve peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to look in the mirror as an American society and realize we will be violent until we decide to be nonviolent. All that darkness is the absence of light. And all that violence is the absence of peace. The question for the American people is, are we willing to declare peace?
Sounds good to me.
Right? I mean...
Violent until we're not.
Violent until we're not. All you have to do is declare peace.
When you're getting picked on by the school bully, Hannah. and they're coming at you again, you just say, dude, choose peace. And then they stop.
It works every time.
You're being violent right now, and all you need to do is be not violent.
Yes.
It's a new character of Brad.
I've never heard you do the surfer guy.
That was surfer guy?
You're harsh on my mellow, bro.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. That's who Marianne Williamson is right there. She is willing to tell you that we are the absolute best versions of what we could possibly think of all the time. Here is another one that's, I would say this one's probably more famous than that one, is when I can't remember if this was a hot mic or if it was intentional, but I don't know that she was meaning for this to be a clip that became viral, but it did.
What does it say that Fox News is nicer to me than the lefties are?
I'm sorry?
What does it say that the conservatives are nicer to me?
It's a bizarre world, ma'am.
It's such a bizarre world. You know, I'm such a lefty. I mean, I'm a serious lefty. But I understand why people on the right call them godless. I mean, it's like, I didn't think the left was as mean as the right. They are.
It's kind of a veiled shot at the right at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She sounds intoxicated.
Well,
I just think she's high. I don't know.
She is so far left. She reminds me of the Squad in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little bit more, dandelions in the barrels of guns kind of person than the Squad is. But she's just so far left that she almost at times comes back around into some of the populism stuff that we hear on the right sometimes from Trump. Would you describe her as kind of a classical liberal, or is she some other classification?
What are her policies? Like, you keep describing her as so far left. Like, what kind of things make her so far left? Because like hippie lifestyle today might make you a libertarian.
Mm-hmm. But she ventures into, as I was going through these clips, I was reminded how much she would venture into a lot of the identity politics stuff, woke stuff. She was very much for reparations, and she is very much anti-gun, some of those things. But she's also very much anti-corporation, and some of the ways that there ends up being some agreement with the left and the right. Not anti-corporation so much, but stuff that's a little bit more populist.
Cronyism, anti-cronyism.
Anti-crony capitalism. Yeah. I'll pull up the next one here. That was 2. Here is number 3. Her talking about Trump. Somebody asks her if Trump has a direct link to any of the gun violence.
And so absolutely, I believe that he has fanned the flames of some of the worst aspects of the American character. That is not, however, to say there's a direct link. That would be unfair.
So she took a lot of shots at Trump, but she, as one of the rare Democrat candidates, would not say things that were inflammatory. I mean, they're asking her, is he being inflammatory? And she kind of won't take the bait in a way.
Is she saying in that clip there's a direct link between gun violence and Trump, but there's not a direct link between gun violence and Trump? Because that's what it sounded like.
She took a jab and then tried to take it back.
Good politician.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, she's saying both things. She's saying that no, yes, he's creating an atmosphere, but no, he's not directly responsible for certain acts of gun violence.
Amy says on YouTube, "Don't feel bad, Hannah. I wasn't at recess, and I don't remember this lady either."
Well, if you don't, you're going to hear from her again. Wouldn't it be amazing if it was just, say, Biden and Marianne Williamson on a debate stage?
Oh my gosh,
she might win.
Yeah, it would be something. Here's number 4.
I assure you, I lived in Grosse Pointe. What happened in Flint would not have happened in Grosse Pointe. This is part of the dark underbelly of American society.
She always had a huge crowd.
And the entire conversation that we're having here tonight, if you think any of this wonkiness is going to deal with this dark psychic force of the collectivized hatred that this president is bringing up in this country, then I'm afraid that the Democrats are going to see some very dark days.
That clip is it's so perfect for her because she talks about some actual policy things and the Flint water thing, and then she's getting the crowd going. They're like, yeah, I'm kind of into this. And then full on psychic force that Donald Trump's carrying. Everybody's like, well, wait a second. I'm not sure what's happening here.
She uses a lot of wonkiness, and then she used the term lefty. I never hear the term lefty.
Yeah.
It's because people use much more offensive language now to refer to people like that.
Yeah.
I saved the best for last. This is the most famous one from her, and I tried to get the full question just for context.
And your first issue that you're going to push, you get one shot that it may be the only thing you get passed. What is that first issue for your presidency? Eric Swalwell, you're first. And Ms. Williamson with the last word.
My first call is to Prime Minister of New Zealand, who said that her goal is to make New Zealand the place where it's the best place in the world for a child to grow up. And I will tell her girlfriend you were so on, because the United States of America is going to be the best place in the world for a child to grow up.
That's the most famous one. What's your first call to a foreign country? Well, I'm going to call the Prime Minister of New Zealand and tell her girlfriend you are so on. Because we love what you've done. And this was in the middle of, actually, it was probably before the Prime Minister of New Zealand had become a household name for being so strict with COVID. So I guess I'll give her a little bit of a pass on that one. There you go. The greatest hits of Marianne Williamson, and more to come, apparently.
That was interesting. I learned something.
Just gotta Google her now so you know her when you see her. Let's take a quick break. At 1:25, Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey in the Annie Frey Show studio. Don't go away.
Fine time drinking rum.
Hey, it's February, and that means another great offer from Zero Res. When was the last time you gave your carpet the love and attention it really deserves? Have you gotten down on your hands and knees and adored how clean and refreshed it was? Or you're probably the opposite. You're scared of what you might see or smell. Your carpet is one of the biggest investments in your home. It's also the biggest air filter, and if your carpet hasn't been professionally cleaned, you're breathing unhealthy levels of nasty dirt, dander, bacteria, and germs that keep recirculating again and again. And what's worse, you're going to be stuck inside breathing all that. Here's some great news. Zero Res is going to spread the love in February to you and your home with a Love Your Rug special. Ask for the Mark Reardon February special. 3 rooms, Zero Resified from St. Louis's #1 carpet cleaner, starting at just $119. Plus, in the month of February, they're throwing in a free hallway to sweeten the deal. And because love has no limits, Zero Res is also going to take $75 off your air duct cleaning in February. Don't put off the call. 314-474-2020. Online, ZeroResSTL.com. Say you want the Mark Reardon 97.1 FM Talk special. You spell it backwards or forwards, it spells the same. Zero Res.
Well, you know I'm always sending you to Andrea's Steakhouse in Fairview Heights, O'Fallon, Illinois. And I'm always also saying if you can't make it to the steakhouse, pick up a bottle of Andrea's steak sauce at area grocery stores. I don't always mention that they have great salad dressing, but I'm very excited to announce this. They have been working on this for some time, trying to get it right. They bottle everything right there on site too. So it's not just about creating the recipe. It's about being able to manufacture it and keep it right there and keep it fresh for you here in St. Louis, made here, of course. They now have Andrea's barbecue sauce. First time in their history that they've had a barbecue sauce, and it is just in time for the grilling season. It may not seem like it yet, but we're going to have good weather soon, I promise. So stick it out. Go get a bottle of Andrea's steak sauce while you're at it. Get their salad dressing, get their barbecue sauce. You'll have the whole Andrea's family, from their family to yours. Again, made right here in St. Louis on site. It's not shipped off from someplace else into here. Go to Andreas.com to get yours.
Hi guys, it's Mark with Pineview Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. Our WAVE technology is backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge University. It's been shown to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now, and not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, but will also include something unique that produces powerful results in the bedroom. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. This unprecedented offer is worth $600, but it's free to those who call in the next 2 minutes. Call 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your life back. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now to qualify. 314-530-7777.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Tributes and condemnation. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The U.S. and its G7 allies slamming Russia for heinous attacks, marking 1 year since the invasion of Ukraine, which the leaders are praising for its heroism, while Ukraine's leader also sends a message to Russia.
The request from President Volodymyr Zelensky is direct. Respect our right to live on our land. Leave our territory. Stop bombing us. China's used the day to offer a 12-point peace plan. It's getting qualified support from Zelensky, who says the fact that China is starting to talk about Ukraine is not bad. It's also been announced the first batch of Leopard tanks has been delivered to Ukraine from Poland.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Ukraine has said it won't agree to any peace without all of its territory being returned. Russia still disputes what belongs to Ukraine. A new round of U.S. sanctions targets those helping Russia to evade previous sanctions, including Chinese entities.
These are all entities that were chosen specifically to put more pressure on Mr. Putin and his ability to prosecute the war in Ukraine.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby. More Russian banks, companies, and individuals are also targets. This is rare in Southern California. Blizzard conditions, a storm dumping heavy snow for more than 24 hours in the mountains around Los Angeles. Fox Weather's Nicole Valdez in L.A. County.
Several major interstates, including I-80 and I-5 through the Grapevine, closed, some indefinitely, as snow begins to mount along those higher elevation areas like the Tajon Pass. California Highway Patrol, Caltrans, they all say everyone should avoid travel in these mountains as these conditions are only expected to intensify.
The windy conditions also knocking out power to tens of thousands, adding to more than 1 million outages as winter weather pounds the northern half of the U.S., also disrupting flights across the country. America is listening to Fox News.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel vPro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Lots of sunshine and light winds for a change, but it's kind of a cold afternoon. Below average temperatures, 42 for the high today. Tonight, more and more clouds, maybe a snow flurry after midnight, no concerns. 32 for the low. On Saturday, partly sunny. Try to warm it up to about 52 in the afternoon, and Sunday clouds. A few rain showers from time to time, 59 for the high on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
John Mellencamp is coming to the Stiefel Theater on April 22nd, and every hour you log in to the Odyssey app, you'll be entered to win. Between now and March 5th, listen to 97.1 FM Talk on the Odyssey app, and you could win tickets to see John Mellencamp April 22nd.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com, or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hi, this is Terry Hall, host of the popular radio show for veterans, Vet Time in America. Sundays at 12 noon on 97.1 FM Talk. Our show is all about veterans. We talk with experts. We help you get benefits, how to get more, and what to do if you're not getting what you deserve. Tune in on Sunday at noon. Join the conversation. We take calls. Vet Time in America. Tune in this Sunday at noon on 97.1 FM Talk.
Are you ready to smell better naked? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the OBGYN creator of Lumi, the whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, and beyond. It's pH optimized to safely and effectively control odor anywhere you have it, but wish you didn't. Plus, it's proven to work better than a shower with soap alone. Whether you shower twice a day or 3 times a week, Lumi works better. And did we mention it's aluminum free? With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I'm so sure you're going to love it, or you can return it for free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 901 and get an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, free product of your choice, and ships free with code 901. LumeDeodorant.com, code 901 for an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack. Love it or return it for free. That's LumeDeodorant.com, code 901.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
We trust companies to do what's right, but when they don't, there's Under Law, making a difference, one case at a time.
Call Onderlaw Personal Injury Lawyers at 314 or 618 $9
Tony La Russa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Friday. Always love the opportunity to say those words to you. We appreciate you being here. We had Kevin Farley in studio in the first hour. If you missed that on the Odyssey app, just rewind about 12:25. Really awesome to have Kevin Farley, stand-up comedian, who is at Westport tonight and the Streets of St. Charles Funny Bone Saturday and Sunday. Make sure you go get your tickets and check out that great show. So there's a breaking news article from the New York Post posted today at 9:21 a.m. And here's the headline: Getting married can lead to a longer life for men. How do you feel about that?
I agree with that.
The New York Post says a new study from the American College of Cardiology, Brad, found that a happy marriage can lead to a longer and healthier life, specifically for men. They did designate happy marriage.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I didn't have an unhappy marriage. As a matter of fact, if I didn't have a happy marriage, she would have just left me there laying on the ground, not called anybody. Be like, I don't know what happened. I woke up and he was down there.
If you're new here, Brad's had heart attacks. People are like, what did she do to you?
Not a crazy wife.
I feel like there are more stories bubbling up right now that are like a little more complimentary of marriage and families and having children. Mm-hmm. Do you see that?
I see that. I see like a movement amongst, this is going to sound weird, but young women are starting to realize or think that maybe, you know, the feminist, you know, you can do anything you want, you know, live your life like a man chasing, you know, have sex with whoever you want kind of deal is going away because a lot of young women are finding out that they've been doing that and now they're unhappy and they feel like it's a lie that has been sold to them. And so now what I'm noticing is this attitude back towards saving myself for marriage.
Good.
And that sort of thing, because maybe they're thinking, I don't think what they sold us was the truth. Therefore, maybe the way we had been doing it is the right way to going about it.
Well, we talk about this a lot, that the mode of, I guess I'll say the trend right now is what's good for you. How do you help yourself? You need to prioritize you. In the whole concept of me time, that's definitely valuable. But me time is the remedy for a lot of non-me time. And those non-me time moments are important.
Yes.
And suggesting that you are all you need, I just feel like that is a lie people are telling themselves that they never actually even believe, but pride comes in and you just become too... And I'm not talking about just marriage. I'm talking about, in general, family, friends, and relationships. That the idea of other people participating in your happiness is important.
Yeah, people, by their very nature, our nature as human beings is we are relational creatures. We need relationships, be that a spouse, friends, you need all of that because on your own, you're pretty much, well, you're not pretty much, you're an incomplete person. And so what you end up doing is finding people with similar interests that complete you. Especially like in a spouse, you don't want to look for a spouse that's like the same as you. You want to find somebody that complements you, that where you're weak, they're strong. So when you come together, you make a strong, complete, strong couple and not just the same thing. Because whenever you're both the same, one of you is not needed.
How different are you and Katie, Ryan?
We're very, very different. And the older we get, the more I realize that I'm very glad that I prayed ahead of getting married because there are aspects of her that I when I was shopping for a spouse, I guess you could say, dating around.
Oh my gosh.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Looking for a woman to wife.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you order her?
I mean, I'm not going to say.
You just did. You brought it up.
When I was out there.
If Katie hears that you said on the air that you were shopping for a wife, how does Mrs. Wiggins react to that?
I think she would say that she was proud to have been chosen. Right? I mean, I think so.
Okay, so you're sticking with it. Go ahead.
So when I was doing that, there are things that I would have said, here's what I think a good spouse would make for me. And she hits most of those things, but not all of them. And the older I get, the more I realize even the things that I would have not said were on my list, she has things that I genuinely say, oh my gosh, God probably knew better than I did because
probably
because now I see as I get older, there are character traits that she has that I needed and still need. And it's actually neat to see it, but it's fun to sort of continue to discover your spouse as you get older. And I feel like I'm doing that. It's enjoyable.
As you were shopping for your wife,
Yeah.
Dirk wants to know, Ryan, did you pray with an A or pray with an E before you got married?
That's a good question, Dirk. The answer is pray with an E for sure.
So you guys really do think it's important for your spouse to be not the opposite of you, but have
Brad
certain
said it right.
traits that you don't?
Complimentary.
Complimentary. That's
Yeah.
good to know.
Strong where you're weak, and you're strong where they're weak, and you complement one another.
But still foundationally have the same
Right.
beliefs.
Same direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a story about, is it Kelsey Ballerini? Is that somebody?
Yeah. She's a country artist.
It's like Kelsey Ballerini in Afton going, excuse me? She's a what? A country
Yeah,
music
she's
artist?
a country music artist.
Is she getting a divorce?
I haven't heard any news about her.
Well,
but there probably is if you...
The Daily Wire posted this story about her, and of course it was something that Matt Walsh was reacting to. And I found it interesting because, when I read Matt Walsh comments and posts, I always read them in Matt Walsh's voice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's so harsh and it's supposed to cut. Like when he makes a point, when he says something, he's saying it to cut through a lot of noise. And so here's the Daily Wire story. Kelsey Ballerini claims her marriage ended when Morgan Evans wanted kids while she pursued egg freezing route. Matt Walsh's comment on this post in the Daily Wire was, did you discuss this before you made an oath and committed your life to one another? Now, that's not to say that you're not going to get married and find out that you fundamentally disagree on things that you had no idea that you would come to fundamentally disagree on. But it's not like we prioritize right now the actual commitment, societally, culturally, the commitment of what marriage is, at least in the biblical sense. Because if you're suggesting that you're going to make an oath, if you go in a courtroom and you put your hand on a Bible and you swear to tell the truth, that's supposed to mean something. If you stand in front of a church or in a really sweet, trendy looking barn, when you've got a pastor there and a Bible and you're having a religious wedding ceremony, you are making an oath in front of God in that context to commit to one another forever. But we don't value the difficulty of that commitment. We value the chocolate fountain and the, 6-tier cake and all of the things that go around having the most Instagrammable wedding. And then you get into the relationship a couple of years and it actually turns into being a very difficult thing to do. And you struggle. And there's really no earthly consequence other than some strife for a while to just say, we were wrong. Moving on.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it? No fault divorce, where you could just say,
that's in Illinois.
We just decided we didn't want to be married anymore. And so we're not. So if there's nothing locking you into it, then are you really making a commitment on the front end? And like the way I've always described, I've done premarital counseling for people whenever I've performed their wedding ceremonies and stuff like that. The way I've described it is it's a covenant between three people or three entities, really. You're making a covenant to one another that you're going to stick this out. You're making a covenant to God that you're going to stick this out. So that's three people. If your word doesn't mean anything, if things get too hard, that's the other thing, and you were pointing this out. People have this unrealistic expectation of what marriage is going to be, and they think it's all going to be sunshine and rainbows and all that other stuff. But there are times in marriage where it is going to be hard, it's going to be difficult, and the only thing keeping you going will be that commitment you made to that person. Because to say, you don't fall into love and you don't fall out of love. You choose to love somebody. And there are times where you're getting through this, and my wife will attest to this, that the only reason she's getting through this is because she chose to love me, and that word means something to her.
You don't really have to make an oath to stick with them when it's good. You're just going to do it. And some of the struggles that, my husband and I have been challenged greatly in our 15 and a half years of marriage, but I've been around friends and family who have faced incredible challenges as well. And, watched in many cases, watch these people overcome it. And I'm not here to say that there aren't marriages that are going to end. That's going to happen. And it's sad when it does. And you can watch that unfold and be sad for everybody involved. And, you still have to figure out how to support these people in their lives and help them stick the landing and all that. But it's just, it's so easy to quit. It's so easy to give up. And in a world where, well, Annie, what makes you feel good? What feels good for you? Like sometimes the right answer is what makes you feel the worst, but you got to do the right thing. And that's not anything that I just don't hear people shouting those values right now. It's, to me, the true counterculture, rebellious way to be right now. It is not edgy to appear edgy. It's actually trendy to be edgy. If you want to be rebellious, if there's a part of you that kind of wants to go your own way and forge your own path, I don't know that there's a better way to do that than to have like an abstinence into monogamous marriage where you wait to have children until you're ready. And I'm not going to say you can afford it because you can never really afford it. It works, and people have been having babies for all of time without stacks of cash around them. And there's really nobody out there in the mainstream saying that.
No. Be a rebel. Start a family.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Tucker Carlson's on this weird thing at the end of the show. He's like, go make babies. I'm like, whoa, Tucker, what are you talking about?
Just send him a check mark.
It's weird to see
I'm done here.
That what you were talking about kind of at the beginning of this is that you're seeing more stories that are confirming or at least rediscovering traditional, maybe even Judeo-Christian values, because it's like those of us who've been there are going, yeah, it's like somebody coming into St. Louis and going, you ever seen this arch over here? Can you believe this? I can't believe this thing. And you're like, yeah, like we know we've been there. It doesn't mean we've mastered it. It just means that we've seen that, yeah, that's the way to do it. And people are, when they try the other ways and sort of backing away and going, maybe it was that way that they originally taught me. It does feel a little strange to already be there.
Well, you see it. I'm sorry, Hannah, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're good. I don't know if it's just because of my age. I'm 21, for those of you who don't know, but I feel like...
She just got out of recess.
The hair is braided.
Yeah.
It is.
It's great Disney hair.
I feel like what I see right now in the culture is that nobody is settling, and it's terrifying. Brad, what makes you think that people are starting to rediscover traditional values? Because I don't see that.
It's very on the fringe right now. But what happens on the fringe generally moves its way in. It's younger kids, it's Gen Z, and they're looking around. Because your generation, from my experience, my interactions, very, what's the right word? I don't want to say cynical, but kind of like cynical. They look at it and they go, ugh,
Well, are you talking about Gen Z?
Gen Z, yeah.
They've been raised by, the people, your parents are, like, the generation that raised Gen Z were also not really raised in an environment where these traditional values were important.
There's also unrealistic expectations from social media. People see on Instagram these couples that they're, posting cute pictures together, and there's just unrealistic expectations everywhere. It's flooding you. And so when people actually get into a relationship, they're like, oh, wait, this isn't as pretty as it looks online.
So you're 21. You've finished your associate's degree. You're out of high school for a while. But at your age, what do you find is kind of the goal, or the 5-year picture, the 10-year picture? Do you think marriage is that for most people or not?
No, I think people are too focused on, what do I want? I want to travel. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I don't even think they're looking to share that with anyone else. Like, not even family. Like, everybody's so selfish and just looking out for themselves. It's horrifying.
We're going to need some people to make more babies if they're not going to be getting married and doing that. I mean, if you ask Elon Musk what the biggest problem facing the world is, he says underpopulation.
Yes.
And he says that, he's been saying that consistently. All right, let's take a quick break. We are rescheduling the Attorney General for the state of Missouri to next week, so stick around for that, of course. But when we come back, we're going to do a little Ask Me Anything. You can join us on the YouTube live chat and comment your questions for the crew. They can be about issues. They can be about anything. You send us a question, and we will feature as many of them as we can. Today's YouTube live chat poll, we're probably going to get raked over the coals for this, but hey, we're going to ask it anyway. We're going to Disney World as a show. The 4 of us are going for a 3 days white-knuckle trip in the beginning of May. How much of the show's May Disney World trip do you want to see? How much do you want us to share with you? Live streaming, videos, photos on our social media platforms. You direct us, because if you don't want to see it, we're not going to show it to you. If you do want to see it, let us know. I think right now it's almost tied between the 3 options. As much as possible, you're indifferent or none. Disney sucks. So I don't know if I'm motivating people to go show up and vote for none. Disney sucks. But if you do want to see some of that stuff with the show as we make our trip in the beginning of May, make sure you go vote in the YouTube poll. We'll be right back.
Driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. Well, I'll stay skinny cause we just won't eat, and we'll watch
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
That just reminds me, gosh, I got to talk to you about the Closet Factory, and I got the latest renderings of the project that they're doing in my home. I cannot wait for this to come to fruition. This is how this works. The Closet Factory came to my house, and I have this room. It's a formal dining room, but as you can imagine, the Freys are not really formally dining very much. In fact, there's usually food on the floor, so we don't do the formal dining thing. We're turning it into an office area. It's kind of what it was before. I don't use it as much as I used to. The kids are going to use that space. But how do you take a room built for a formal dining room and turn it into a space where your 4 kids can use it to get homework done, to store their things, and keep all of the stuff that gets trail dumped into the house when you walk in? Well, you call the Closet Factory. 314-961-4300. Candace came to my house, and she looked at the space, and the space was a mess right now. And her favorite line to say is, don't clean up before I show up, because I want to see where your problem areas are. And boy, were those problem areas self-evident. We're going to have a place where they can do homework and a cabinet storage for their books, their bags, and all that stuff. But it's also going to be able to double as a clean countertop space when we're entertaining. We could put apps and stuff and drinks out there. It's multi-purpose. Kind of an innovative idea that you can use in your home as well. Reach out to the Closet Factory at 314-961-4300. Mention the Annie Frey Show when you call them, closetfactory.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Attorney General Andrew Bailey.
Instead of protecting victims of crime, the circuit attorney is creating more victims through her willful neglect of her statutory, ethical, and moral obligation.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
And the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love. Great clouds all over the hills, bringing darkness from above. But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We appreciate you being with us today. A reminder on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. 2 things that I want you, actually, okay, let's do 3 things. You can follow the station. Just type in 97.1 FM Talk and stream the whole station. 97.1, 24 hours a day, streaming on the Odyssey app anywhere that you get your connection. And all you do is 97.1 FM Talk in the top right. There's a follow word that says follow. You click that. You can do the same thing by searching the Annie Frey Show, Frey, Annie Frey Show. Follow us there. And also the Pixie Dust podcast, which is my podcast with my dear friend and Disney vacation planner, Erica Murphy. And we talk about planning these trips. So I know that it's not everybody's thing, but if you do listen to this and you do have an interest in making that trip, follow the Pixie Dust podcast and you can learn and listen to podcasts that I do that are nothing about what we normally talk about here on the show. Now, the poll question today. Brad, you want to read us the poll question that people can go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel right now and vote in?
Sure. The YouTube poll question of the day
the
is...
paper snap.
Yeah, I thought I'd try it one time. How did it fit?
How did it feel?
It felt good.
Okay.
All right. So how much of the show's May Disney World trip do you want to see? As much as possible, indifferent, or none, Disney sucks? So that last one is one option. None, Disney sucks. It's
Yes.
not none or Disney sucks.
Yeah, because then you wouldn't know what to do.
Right.
What do you expect to have happening in this poll?
I think people like us, and they like us
Oh,
in
wow.
spite.
This is the most optimistic Brad thing to say.
Yeah, and they like us in spite of how much they might hate other things, so they would rather spend time with us regardless of the situation. So I think that as much as possible is going to win.
I don't. What do you think?
I think people are going to vote as much as possible because
you guys are so positive.
Maybe we're just normal and you're negative.
Oh, that's also true. Yeah.
you know, they want to follow along with us. They want to hear about it and see it. And we already have some ideas of things that we're going to shoot there if you guys want to see them. And
Can we talk about the
funny
Instagram? Who
Sure.
did it best?
Oh, this is going to be great.
Sure. We are going
This has to do with you, Ryan.
Actually,
Ryan's
Annie,
looking
you
at me like,
describe it.
Ryan's like, ooh, this sounds good. What is it about? It's about you.
Yeah.
We talked about it.
Oh, yeah.
Annie, why don't you talk about it?
So on our Instagram page, is that what you say? Is it an Instagram page?
Our Instagram page.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
At the Annie Frey Show.
The Annie Frey Show.
Yep.
And if you appreciate Hannah on this show, you should follow the Instagram page because is that what it is?
Yes.
Page.
Sure.
I get that right.
That's my baby.
Because it's Hannah's. She's in charge of that. And anybody who's worked with me knows how big of a deal it is to say, just do it, Hannah. Like, it's all yours. Make it your own. And she has. Hannah knows how to do, like, the Instagram-y things. So does Ryan Wiggins.
Yeah, but I don't really ever tape it.
Are you going to teach her some things when we go to Disney World? So are you going to show her give her some tips on how to take the best pictures?
Yeah, there's one thing that I don't think girls understand.
Why are you getting out of your chair? Sit back down in your chair. Where's this going?
So
I'm scared.
This is for those on YouTube, right?
Yeah. So if you're watching, one of the ways that you can make yourself look really good in a picture, and this is really for boys or girls.
Time out. Brad, you notice when he's doing things like this, how his voice changes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what you do is you turn to the side a little bit.
Little confidence. in it.
Put your left hand, you're facing this way. Put your left hand on your hip, right hand on your kind of back, but other hip, sort of like this.
The back of your hip, that's
Yeah.
your butt.
Your butt. I didn't want to say that. Such a dirty word.
Yesterday you said jugs.
It was in context though. I'm actually talking about my actual butt.
The FCC says that you can talk about these things if you're talking about the biological, physical aspects of it.
Oh, okay. So you want to put your hands not near up here and in your jugs. You want to put them down near your butt.
Gosh.
I was just giving permission, so it's fine.
No.
And you want to point your leg out a little bit like this. I call it the flamingo pose, and I can't quite see. I'm going to tilt the camera down there.
My favorite radio is Ryan Wiggins showing us how to model on
like
Instagram.
that?
Physical comedy.
You do like that right there.
This might not be FCC compliant, whatever you're doing right
yeah.
now.
You pointed the camera a little
Can't
low.
even, can't even see your face.
See, like you got to hands on hips, one kind of near the butt, and then you got to stick your
what?
Close leg, the camera, the leg that's closest to the camera.
Put it back.
You stick it out like that, and then you look super attractive, and people look at you and you go, "Now that is attractive."
So we're going to, when we travel to Disney, since Ryan is the expert in his own mind,
Right.
we're going to have Who Did It Best posts where Ryan and Hannah each are going to post the same poses in the same places, and then it's up to you guys to really decide.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for that, it probably would be better if I didn't go first, because then I would win. If you went first, then I can try to mimic what you do and just make it a
We'll
little
flip
hotter.
flop and see how the people vote.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe we'll see. This is the thing. This is why we need people to vote in today's poll. How much of the show's May Disney World trip do you want to see? We're going for 3 days, and this is 3 days, and this is what the show wants. Of wake up, drop everything and do everything and go, go, go. We're going to do all of the things. And if you want to see this, what we're doing and partake in it, maybe a live stream while we're there, doing some roller coasters and stuff, we want to know. We don't want to spend our whole weekend trying to document and share things that are going to breed a lot of hate towards us. You can't steal my joy, but it does become more difficult when people are very angry about it. So I'm just throwing it out there. If the people don't want to see it, we'll know after this poll. How much of the show's May Disney World trip do you want to see on our social media? There are 3 things: as much as possible. That currently has 27%. Indifferent has 36%, and None Disney Sucks has 37%.
Ooh, okay, so it is pretty close.
Sounds like the angry people have extra profiles.
Or they're more motivated. So, maybe this is the way it'll end. Maybe just we won't share anything. We'll just come back and talk about it.
That's fine. Can I make a quick case, though? Because I am very sensitive to the woke idea that Disney's doing things in their movies and TV that I don't like. Totally understand. However, if you want to put a delineation between the two, the parks aren't really doing that. And I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're the same company. I get that, too. But one of the things that I like when I visit the parks is that really doesn't exist there. That's good.
It's the whole carrot and the stick thing. If you want Disney to change their ways, you don't give them money for things that they do whenever it's bad. But what if they're doing right? You reward that. That's the carrot.
I've been on Disney World vacations where I wear my DeSantis t-shirt, especially this past summer when all the inappropriately named Don't Say Gay Bill stuff was going on, because I am a huge supporter of what he's doing in Florida. I wish that he would influence the whole country if he was a way that he could do that. So I bought a shirt and wore it around Disney World, and I'm walking around Disney World with a DeSantis tank top on, and I think that one said "Make America Florida."
I love that shirt.
And everywhere I go, people are like, "I love your shirt. I love," not a single negative word. And person after person after person in Disney World last summer, obsessed and willing to speak out, and not a single negative word. I've also traveled with people to remain nameless to Disney World who wear big, bold Trump shirts. And the same thing. Compliment after compliment after compliment. And then I love to people watch. So you pay attention to watching people throughout the park or whatever. And there's a ton of like military, police officer oriented stuff. I mean, it is an expenditure to go. And I believe that the people who go there value family in many cases. And I find that it isn't what people who aren't actually associated with it, it's not what you expect. And none of that is to say that I won't roast Disney on the hottest burning coals for making bad decisions and protect my children around every corner that I can. I have had so many conversations with my kids. Anytime something Disney comes up that is inappropriate, I talk to my oldest 2 kids about that and explain why it's bad. We have a conversation about it. I think that's the right way to go about it. I pretty much watch Encanto in my house every day. I've already watched it once today. Maybe I had Molly this morning, but I'm glad you said that, Ryan, because I'm going to get hate messages. I probably have them right now because we're even talking about it. And I pull back on that a lot because I'm sensitive to it, but we're going to go celebrate as a show to do something that I think we're going to have the most fun ever. You guys are all super excited about it.
Oh, yeah.
When the show ends, we pretty much for a half an hour. Hey, what about Test Track? Have you ridden Test Track?
Yeah, and on the breaks, we talk about it. In the evenings in our DMs, we talk about it. We're really excited to do this. And we're celebrating 5 years of the show in April. I'm excited to help make this happen and to bring you guys along and to kind of like navigate you through the parks and give you the best time that I can possibly muster. And I know that I'm still going to get hate for it. I just don't. This is not something that other people get to take from me. And I think I do a lot of things on this show that show who I am and prove that I am a person of value and that, my character is pretty out there. You can love me. You can hate me. This is just the one thing that I think some people just can't get over, I guess.
I'll tell you what, we went to the park 2 years ago. My son and I, it was in November, so the Christmas stuff was there. They played Christian Christmas music in that park in a way that when I walked in, I was surprised.
Epcot has the candlelight processional. They read the whole Luke 2 passage.
Stuff like that is fantastic. And so when you experience that, you go, well, this is great. I don't know what they're doing at the top, but I know that this is good.
And also understanding who Walt Disney is from Missouri.
Yeah.
Main Street in the Magic Kingdom is modeled after, I think it's Marceline. Is that the name of the town? Missouri?
Oh, yeah.
Main Street in Magic Kingdom is a replica of, that was Walt's idea of what Main Street, USA should be. And it's plucked out of, there was discussion that Walt Disney World would be built in St. Louis. That's a 4-season town.
Yeah, right now, can you imagine?
No. So I think that there are incredible values. I think that the company as a whole has departed from those values. And I definitely, because I pay a close attention to it, have seen that the pushback from people, which comes in voice, which I definitely try to do as much as I can, but also in spending habits. They're having to make different decisions. And that is a way you can influence something that can be really good back to its roots, back to the things about it that are good. All right. Well, people are asking questions about various things here. We're going to get a couple more of those in on this break. But when we come back, Ask Me Anything with the Annie Frey Show. And if you guys want to see something or anything from us, you better get onto the YouTube live chat poll and vote, because might just say at the end, if None Disney Sucks wins, you might never know we even went.
Which we'll be okay with,
then
I guess.
Then we can get really wild.
Yeah. I mean, I've been drunk the whole time, so.
Yeah, does that influence you wanting to see more or not? Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, and I don't know if this is a personal referendum on whether or not you like us, like Hannah says it is. But Hannah, is that how you feel? If they like us, they vote?
Just on you, though, right?
No, all of us.
Everybody. Yeah, it's a referendum
if you
on
love
us.
us, you'll vote
Everybody
that you
loves
want to see more
Hannah.
of us.
Oh, all right, let's take a quick break. Ask Me Anything when we come back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Hi, this is Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, Tom's nephew. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you are nearing retirement or already retired. What if it were possible to protect you from market downturns without having to make an emotional decision to buy or sell? What if you could take advantage of a strategy that would automatically take you out of harm's way during the bad years and position you for the growth opportunity during the good years?
The secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. By linking to the market instead of owning the market, you can participate safely on autopilot and lock in your gains without creating a taxable event. Go online at retirementkey.com for a no-obligation retirement review. Learn the strategies that have helped our clients retire with confidence for the past 36 years. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
STS Armory is destination for your firearm purchases for knowledge. If you're not 100% sure what you want to buy, or if you're looking for a particular situation where you want to be able to protect yourself, STS Armory is staffed with experts that will help you navigate these important decisions. I am a customer of STS Armory. I have gone in there with a budget and said, here's what we're trying to do. We want to diversify our ability to protect ourselves or to provide for ourselves. What do you recommend with this budget? We wanted to make sure that we could educate our kids about firearms and their safety that comes with firearms. STS Armory, they have classes for kids, for teens, and for women, and for advanced shooters all across the board. Plus, in Illinois, if you've been seeking out that conceal and carry, STS Armory is going to help you get it. They are wonderful at the education that is needed. They take it very seriously, and they know all of the rules and the laws, as ever-changing as they are in the state of Illinois, to make sure that you are legally compliant and also able to protect yourself. It's incredibly important. STS Armory is making it very easy for you to shop, to learn the whole process. You can find them on the corner of Highway 111 and South Drive in Pontoon Beach. Super easy to get to right off 270. Call them at 618-931-GUNS. That's 618-931-GUNS. You can go online to their website at sts-armory.com.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AA MCO.
They say money can't buy happiness, but yes, it does. If you find $5 on the sidewalk, you're pretty happy. Now imagine that happening all the time. With the Upside app, you find cash in places you never expected. Restaurants, grocery stores, gas stations, all the places you go. There's cash back waiting for you to find it. Will Upside solve all your problems? We can't promise that. But it will give you a little something extra so you can treat yourself. And there's nothing like a few unexpected bucks to brighten your day. That's life on the Upside. Download it today. Get the free Upside app and use promo code GOODLIFE for an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's promo code GOODLIFE for an extra $10 on the free Upside app. Start living life on the Upside with the free Upside app.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Celebrating 22 years as St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Thanks for being a part of it.
Try laughing until life starts to make sense. Try falling apart and starting again. Been around this town for way too long. Think it's time I finally got into
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
And some hush money. It's been a long time coming.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. At 12:25 today, we spoke with Kevin Farley in studio. Great conversation with him, talking about his podcast, his stand-up comedy. Also, his brother, Chris Farley. Didn't realize that there were 5 kids. Chris was in the middle. Kevin said I guess he was one younger than Chris, but just a really interesting conversation with him. You can subscribe to the Annie Frey Show podcast to hear that, or you can go on the Odyssey app and rewind to 12:25 and check that out. If you want to see Kevin Farley this weekend when he is in St. Louis, you can go tonight to Westport Funny Bone, or this weekend to the streets of St. Charles Funny Bone on Saturday and Sunday. Let's do Ask Me Anything.
If you have anything to ask me, just go ahead.
I want the truth.
Say it.
Thank you for your honesty.
You can't handle the truth. And the truth shall set you free.
All right, Brad, you have a question,
Wait,
right?
what are we laughing at?
One of the questions I hope Hannah gets to.
Okay. Okay. I look up. I was reading something on my phone. I look up and everybody's cracking
It's
up.
a good question.
Okay.
It just
No,
came
it's
in.
not.
It's a great question.
I'm going to ask.
Anyway,
Gleaning that it has
Dumb
to do with
question.
Ryan Wiggins.
so I want to know from you guys, what was the worst date you've ever been on?
Ooh.
Can I go first?
Absolutely.
I got one, too.
I dated. I went on a date with, and I was in high school. I might have been 16 or 17. Mom and Dad, I think I've told you the story. I hope so.
It's not surprised.
I met this guy through a mutual friend at a field party. And the field party wasn't bad. It wasn't what people are thinking about, but it was a field party. I think it was out in Bunker Hill. And this guy asked me out, so I went out with him, and he picked me up, and then we drove to his pot dealer, and he let me sit in the parking lot while we went to get some weed, and then we went to Sharky's. That was like 17 or something. And I'm like the most innocent, rule-following, church youth group going. I'm like, I am going to jail. The whole time I was panicking so much. And then we did not go out on another date.
That's what I wanted to know is, were you, because in his mind,
Horrified.
this is the most impressive thing that he's ever done.
Oh, I don't know that he was thinking about me at all during any of that.
Really? Oh, man. I
think
would have thought he was super cool.
That never occurred to me. I think he just wanted some weed. And I think that our
Got me a girl?
little
Time to
date
give me some guns.
got in the way. I was riding in the car. Well, I texted or reached out to a girlfriend of mine, and I wonder if she remembers this, because I think her boyfriend listens to the show. I called her. I'm like, I'm on this date. I'm with this guy. He's buying weed right now. He said we had to go get marijuana before we go to Sharky's. And she's like, I'll be right there. So she met me. And then I got in the car with her. But I was sitting in this vehicle with this person, and he had weed on him. And I was like, we're going to get pulled over. I'm going to get charged with possession. I'm going to have to tell my parents about this. And they're going to ask me if I was smoking weed. And I wasn't, but they're not going to. Oh, man. It was awful. I didn't go out with him again.
Holy cow.
Had to be reassuring that you were going to Sharky's, because they wouldn't allow that kind of stuff there.
I don't even know if I was allowed to go in there.
I don't even know what Sharky's is.
It doesn't exist anymore. It was a billiards bar.
In a strip mall.
For high schoolers. I don't know.
It was next to another place that's not there anymore, Stakeout.
No, it's
Remember
actually
that?
in the building where I go box.
Really?
Yeah.
Stakeout is?
No.
Oh, Sharky's is. Oh, man, I was really hoping for Stakeout.
What is Stakeout?
It was, you could get steak to go.
Yeah, it's a
Wow.
carry-out steak restaurant.
Was it in the Sharky's building?
It was in the same complex.
Ryan, if you're hankering for steak there's one in Belleville still.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Worst
Thanks.
dates? Anybody else want to share?
Worst date I've ever been on, way back when. I was like 16. It was like one of the first dates I went on. The guy was criticizing my order of what I ate, and he didn't like what I ordered, so he didn't pay for it.
Well, what did you order? No, this is a blessing. You really you came out ahead on this one. What did you order?
I ordered, so we went to Texas Roadhouse to eat, and
fine establishment.
Yes,
I
and
love Texas
I
Roadhouse.
ordered steak bites and not like a bigger meal. And he didn't like that. So he's like, if you're not actually going to eat, I'm not going to pay for it. And I was like, okay, don't pay for it and don't talk to me again.
Was it the same guy as Annie's?
Was he high?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I think he was.
He's like,
high.
I wanted to finish your plate, man.
Yeah.
I wanted you to
So
get
he was
food.
criticizing what I ordered, and then he said he wasn't going to pay for
He
it.
could have seen you at the MAC.
Any other bad?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. She's eating steak off my plate at the Brian Kilmeade event. You gonna finish that? No. Are you? Yeah.
If she wasn't asking, I was.
Do you guys have any
You
bad
going?
date
Because
stories?
my story is going to win, so I'm going to win.
Okay, so my story is probably a lot like other guys' stories. You know, as a guy, would you say I'm a good wingman or a bad wingman?
Oh, you'd
I don't
probably
know.
be
I
the
haven't
best
seen you
wingman.
As I was a
winging
wingman.
It depends. What does a wingman do?
Well, the wingman goes on the date with the friend for the guy who wants to go on the date with the main girl, and he just takes one for the team. And that was my worst date.
Tell you a funny wingman story at the break.
Okay.
So I went on this date, and I was trying to do everything that I could to just be a nice guy, but like, hey, look, I'm just here because I'm the wingman, and you're.
Did she kiss you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember the story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but she was like really into me, and probably because I was being nice to her, and
Well, that was your mistake.
I should have been a
You
jerk.
should have been like, "That's what you're ordering. I'm not paying for that."
Yeah,
Yeah.
no joke. I'm learning so much now, and it's all too late. But yeah, at the end of the night, she's like she just had the look. I want to give you a kiss. And I'm like, I don't want to kiss you.
Kiss him.
It's so.
He's the one who made me
I
come.
remember backing up, and she's leaning in, and I took another step back, and she took a step forward, and she just kept looking like, I'm gonna kiss you. And I backed up, and I went to take the last step, and there was a wall behind me.
No.
Bang! Nowhere to back up. I said, "Oh no!" And she leaned in, and I turned and looked at my friend just at the last minute, and she stuck her tongue in my ear.
Ew, that's grosser than I thought it was going to
So
Just get worse and worse.
it was awkward.
Yeah, it was.
be. Sounds kind of hot, actually, Brad. All right. Here you go. I'm going to beat you all. I'll not use names just to protect the innocent, but
Are they innocent?
the girl is.
You've told the story before on the air.
Have I? Well,
Does it have to
you
do
tell
with
me.
her, with her dad.
Yeah, have I?
Yes, but you
Okay.
can tell it again.
I don't
All right.
know it.
So, took a girl on a date. It was a good date, but really just because I got some really good CDs at Best
I
Buy.
was wondering where that was going.
CDs at Best Buy.
I didn't like it that much, but I got some really good CDs.
Rewind that on the Odyssey app and listen to where that's going. And
Yeah, she stuck her tongue in my ear. So anyway, and by the way, the CD was Supergrass, so not too far from your date.
this doesn't have. We have limited time.
I know
All right.
we have that one listener question we need to get to.
So-
we're not gonna have time.
So
Gotta wait for
Ryan,
found
the
out shortly after
Supergrass album.
that date that her dad had been arrested for murder.
Oh, nice.
And I did meet the dad before the date, and he was very much trying to be intimidating. And I thought, oh, he's like doing the
How much
intimidation
more
thing.
intimidating do you have to be than I have murdered somebody?
Well, he hadn't yet, apparently. So this happened shortly after the date.
Oh, glad
So-
it went well.
Yeah, well, the date was fine.
So he was looking for somebody.
And I'm glad I was a pretty innocent little kid. So I had no ill intentions other than getting a CD and a good movie out of
All righty. Balls for you ask, what will you guys do if Ryan isn't tall enough for the rides at Disney World?
it. That's super funny, you guys.
Rider swap.
I'm rider swapping with the guy with the gray pepper beard.
Sorry, Ryan. It looks
He's
like
not-
you don't make the cut.
He's not tall enough. You know what I was thinking about doing is getting those calf extenders and doing that thing where you like crank your calf and like grow your bone
Ew.
just to get up to 5'10", because I'm
Are
just
you
shy of
talking
5'10".
about? Are you sure you're talking about calf extenders?
I don't know what I'm talking about. Something
you
that I've
see
seen
those?
in
Yeah,
like
cranking
horror movies.
stuff. What are you talking about?
You crank up the bone.
The
you grow a
Princess
little
Bride,
bit.
the stretcher.
Sure, that's what I'm talking
We
about.
can try it.
I don't know why we wouldn't.
Might
I
be able
need
to
to get
stretch
to
you all the
5'10".
way to 5'8".
Because no, I'm already 5'9" and a half. I just need a half inch to get to 5'10", and then there's no way you could make fun of a 5'10" guy for being short. That's the way I look at it. Right now, I'm just shy.
There's no way.
I'm gonna go watch the movie
She's made fun
Saw
of
and
me.
see.
All right.
If they have the technology in any of the Saw franchise movies, I might take that up.
Oh, man. Stick around. When we come back, we're going to have Hayes and Trisha in studio to play a little X's and O's. We always appreciate you guys playing along with us. So join us on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. And you need to go vote in that poll. You could put the Disney World thing to rest for good. Show up and vote yes or no or indifferent. On
Vote yes if you love us.
Hannah is dedicated to the idea that if you don't vote as much as possible, that you hate us.
Don't you love me?
Yeah, that's the real question. We'll be back in a minute.
If you want to see better in the new year, there's no better time to call Brenton Vision than right now. Mark Cox here. My friends at Brenton have everything you need to get the crisp, clear vision you've always wanted. Call them at 314-375-2020 or go online today to brentonvision.com. They are the only team in Missouri to perform all 7 FDA-approved forms of vision correction. That includes modern LASIK, permanent contact lenses, and if you have bad reading vision, they even have treatments for you too. So stop throwing your money away. My wife got lens replacement. She sees perfectly these days, and she loves it. Quit putting it off. If it's standing in your way of achieving your goals and your resolutions, Brenton Vision is here to help. Call them today at 314-375-2020. Tell them you heard Mark Cox talking about it. That's 314-375-2020. Or schedule right now at brentonvision.com.
Man, I talk to people all the time who just aren't getting the sleep they need. And if it's sleep apnea, you may not even know it's sleep apnea, but Fountains Family Dentistry has the solution for that. It's called sleep medicine, but it's actually medicine-less. I guess they just haven't come up with a better name for it yet, and it's my job to tell you that part. So you can get a mouth guard that you just wear at night. It's fitted to your mouth, so it's completely comfortable. You don't even know you're wearing it. In fact, more often than not, you notice when you're not wearing it, because when you wake up, you don't feel as refreshed. And I absolutely every morning, unless I'm really sick or something, I wake up and I feel completely fine and ready to go. And that is not common these days. Everybody I know, I think, who's not using one of these things has at least some sort of sleep problem. And the older you get, the more problematic it becomes. So check out Fountains Family Dentistry. They're in Fairview Heights, Illinois, and easy to get to, easy to get into, with appointments that are late some days, early some days for your convenience. And find them online at fountainsfamilydentistry.com. That's where you can get their phone number too, fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1979. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1979. That's 800-777-1979. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1979. 800-777-1979.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Even more sanctions on Russia. And Lisa Brady, Fox News, though ramping up the pressure hasn't stopped the war in Ukraine.
We need independence, not just on paper. We need real independence to defend our people.
Ukraine's president through a translator marking 1 year since the invasion by urging Russia to stop bombing them. Secretary of State Antony Blinken warning the UN Security Council today that Russia will use any pause in fighting to regain strength and relaunch the war, as China proposes a peace plan after its top diplomat met with President Putin this week. Just getting word that earthquakes earlier this month are now blamed for more than 50,000 deaths in Turkey and Syria. Turkish officials say more than 100,000 buildings are destroyed or damaged beyond repair. The White House says President Biden had an update today on the toxic train wreck in Ohio from multiple officials, including Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who visited East Palestine yesterday, nearly 3 weeks after the crash. Many residents still not satisfied with the federal response.
I think he should have been here when the evacuation was lifted.
Absolutely too little, too late. And we have Biden over in Ukraine handing out millions of dollars. Where is he?
That's just one aspect, but it's overall. Everything has just failed us.
The Ohio governor and the EPA continue to offer assurances about air and water quality. Tonight, famed environmental activist Aaron Brockovich plans a town hall in East Palestine. A North Carolina high school has extra officers on campus today after someone brought an AR-15 to a basketball game last night. Police in Raleigh say the suspect, who was taken into custody during the game at Millbrook High, is not a student there, but is a juvenile. No word yet on where the gun came from. For now, the investigation continues. America is listening to Fox News.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel vPro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Lots of sunshine and light winds for a change, but it's kind of a cold afternoon. Below average temperatures, 42 for the high today. Tonight, more and more clouds, maybe a snow flurry after midnight, no concerns. 32 for the low. On Saturday, partly sunny. Try to warm it up to about 52 in the afternoon, and Sunday clouds. A few rain showers from time to time, 59 for the high on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Have you been lied to by Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine? Hi, this is best-selling author Don Chamberlain from right here in Greater St. Louis, and I want to give you a copy of my new book, Crash Proof Wealth, because according to Time magazine, Wall Street's retirement plans in 401ks and IRAs have failed millions of Americans. After seeing the last market crash over 39%, I had enough. There may be a way to grow your money when the market goes up, potentially double digits in good years, reduce taxes, and have my principal protected if the market declines again. Call Chamberlain Group now to get my free book and talk to me personally to discover the strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose principal if the market declines again. Call 1-800-807-3838 to discover this asset, and I'll even cover shipping and handling. No credit card required. Call 1-800-807-3838. That's 1-800-807-3838. Again, 1-800-807-3838.
AirComfortService.com. When you reach out to Air Comfort, you're going to meet some of the best people in the business that can help you solve your HVAC needs, your furnace, if it's not blowing air the way it's supposed to be, if it's not warm like it's supposed to be, or the other possibility exists that your furnace is working great and the insulation in your home isn't. If you have an under-insulated home like 9 out of 10 people do, you need to make sure that you get that taken care of. I don't know anybody who can afford to pay the energy prices out there as they continue to go up and up and up and up. If your home is under-insulated, you are heating a home and everything around, like how your dad's like, leave the front door open, you're heating the whole neighborhood, that type of stuff. That's really what's happening, and your doors are closed and the insulation is causing the air to seep out of your house and not keep you in your comfort zone. Talk to Air Comfort Service about what your concerns are, and they can navigate that situation to make sure that you do get it rectified. 314-513-0091. Call them at 314-513-0091. Mention the Annie Frey Show when you do. Find them online at aircomfortservice.com/insulation.
You remember Satchmo's Bar and Grill. Their owner, Ben Brown, helped lead the fight against Sam Page's lockdown. Mark Cox here. You're going to love this restaurant. Chef-prepared daily lunch and dinner specials. Happy hour 3 to 6, 7 days a week. Weekly specials. Wagyu meatloaf on Monday night. Steak night on Wednesdays for just $10.95 and burger night on Thursdays. Check them out on Facebook or online at satchmosgrill.com at Olive and 141.
Want to be 100% certain about your taxes? Jackson Hewitt backs your return for life. Switch today and get 50% off tax prep. 50% is a limited time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll free at 888-367-6512.
Big ideas, real debate, solid entertainment. You found it here.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
They got someone here knows what they're talking about.
Let's up, let's ride. Gotta love this American ride.
Like, you need to take some time to get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show, 2 o'clock on a Friday. Hallelujah. You've made it this far. You are almost done. The weekend is almost here. In studio with us, we have Hayes and Trisha to play X's and O's. Hi.
Hello.
How are you? Hi. See, the way it works is there's a button. We'll show you how to push the buttons and make the microphones work here shortly.
I missed that part in training. Sorry.
Could you, Trisha, you were a producer for how long?
10 years.
10 years? Mm-hmm. Could you do that in your sleep still?
Apparently not. I missed the button.
This is a much smaller board. This has 3 buttons.
Yes.
And it's only for you. Could you do all this?
I think so, yeah.
In a heartbeat, is like riding a bike?
Yeah.
Hayes, how long have you been in radio?
23 years.
23 years.
Yeah.
And you've run your board the whole time, right?
Yep. Let's see. I forgot how many different cities. 7 cities, I think.
Where have you been?
Wichita, Wichita, Kansas, Dallas, Texas, Austin, Texas, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Oh yeah, don't you know? Detroit, St. Louis.
Yeah. Other than St. Louis, because obviously, where's your other favorite place to do radio?
Everyone asks that. Texas was great because you didn't have to pay any taxes.
Well, you were on the correct show.
You didn't have to. You didn't have to pay any, state taxes or at the time personal property taxes on your car. Which I know in Illinois, right? You don't have to pay any of that.
No, we pay all the other ones.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
You pay for it somehow. But anyway, Texas was great. Detroit actually was really wonderful because if you've seen lately, they're on the up and coming. Mm-hmm. They're doing things right.
It's fun to see a place start to succeed.
Yeah, and I was kind of right there when that was happening and all the corruption stuff with the mayor back then, and they cleaned it up, but the cold was horrible. But it kind of mirrored St. Louis a lot. They love their sports. They took pride in their town, their city, their homes. It was just a great working town. So Detroit was cool too.
Yeah, you've got a really awesome career, and we're so grateful to have you here in Y98 in St. Louis.
Thank you.
Trisha, you've been with 97.1 since 2012.
Yes.
11 years.
Mm-hmm.
And this was your first job.
Mm-hmm.
And you were an intern here.
Mm-hmm.
And Hannah, you didn't intern, did you?
Nope.
You just showed up one day and we're like, we'll take her full time together. I mean, just before we get into X's and O's, though, Hayes, I'll ask you, Hannah she's 21 years old. She's got her associate's degree in communications. To be able to get out of communications school, where'd you go?
Merrimack.
Merrimack?
St. Louis Community College.
And your associate's degree is in?
Communication.
Like, she really stuck the landing there right at it. Wow. There's a lot of struggle that goes on in radio before a lot of people find success.
So much. That was the part of the moving around. I was a radio gypsy. You kind of just had to. I mean, I was from Kansas. That's how I started. I started in Manhattan, Kansas.
That sounded really impressive.
In a shack.
Yeah, the big city.
Wichita.
That's the little apple. But I was from Wichita, Kansas, and I had to drive an hour and a half to Manhattan to even just get on the radio.
That's the story, though, right?
They didn't even pay for my gas. I think it was like $4.15. It didn't even pay for my gas to get there, but I had to do that to get to Texas.
That is the same story the way I started out, because I used to live in Hamel, Illinois, and I worked in sports talk radio in Webster Groves. And this was when gas was like $4.50, and we were watching it tick up to $5 an hour.
2008-ish?
2006 is when I started, but then moving into still going over there. Oh my gosh. But I mean, I love Hamel. I'm a big fan of it. My family comes from there. There's not any radio stations right there in Hamel. Like, the career was in Webster Groves. I either had to pick up and move or drive.
Yeah.
And that's what you do.
My parents asked me, are you coming back to Wichita? And I'm no, I come back to visit. It's a nice miss.
It'll be there when I come back.
It is. It's a nice miss.
Yes, that's fantastic. Before we get to X's and O's, Hannah, you want to set us up here with the YouTube live chat poll? We can get Hayes and Trisha to weigh in before we start.
Yes. Today's YouTube live chat poll is asking, how much of the show's May Disney trip would you want to see? Would you want to see as much as possible of it? Are you indifferent? Or would you like to see none of it because Disney sucks?
And you hate us.
Yes.
You want to go
hate
first
us.
or you want me to go first?
Everyone's taking this real
I
personal.
want to see all of it.
Yeah, I agree. I'll just say
because
that
you
too.
love us.
I do love you guys very much, and I want to see the whole thing.
I think because we're kind of partial here, we're all coworkers, so I want to see what's going down behind the scenes, and I'm a geek like that.
Who's going to laugh? Who's going to cry? Who's going to puke? I want to see it all.
Oh, someone's going to puke?
Ryan's going to do that all the time.
I was going to say, it's probably going to be Ryan for all.
Yeah, it'll be on the ride dinosaur because it's so scary.
The ride is scary. It's the scariest ride there.
It's not. No, it's not. It's a Small World is the scariest.
You think that's intimidating for you?
It's creepy.
It's ominous. There's something like...
That song is a nightmare.
I love it.
Do you?
I do.
I haven't been there since I was 12, so I guess I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't want to be stuck on the ride.
Oh, now that would be a nightmare.
But going through it, like, one time is good.
Is it still like old school creepy? Like
it's kind of a matter of perspective. How?
That means yes.
Is that by Ed Sheeran?
Yeah. That's a hit.
Listen, people who are listening right now, what is the Ed Sheeran song where he mispronounces the word 6th Street?
6th.
Somebody commented, because I'm going to be trying to figure that out while we're supposed to be playing X's and O's, which we should probably.
I want to hear Ed Sheeran covering It's a Small World.
Oh, no.
It'd probably be great. And then, Hayes, you'd have to listen to it 8 million times.
Yeah, 8 every hour.
You know what else is scary?
We'll scatter little dolls around the Y98 studio for you.
Oh, wonderful.
If you've never been on it, Hannah, what's really scary is Pirates of the Caribbean. Those pirates are drunken messes on that ride, and oh my gosh, you do not want to see what they do. They start fires and stuff.
You think they'd get that together with all the kids?
I know.
If you want to see me probably off Ryan Wiggins, then you should vote as much as possible on this trip. This is going to be a true test of our relationship. A vacation together
Dead
of
body
3
found
straight days.
in the Pirates of the
Probably
Caribbean water.
bring the X's and O's drummer with us to Disney. He's always working
He
hard.
follows us around like it's getting intense, guys.
Like Jumanji.
All right, go. Ryan, take it.
All right. Let's see here. We're going to have Hayes going. Well, wait, what's your records? Do you remember how many you've won and lost?
Put him on the spot, why don't you?
Yeah.
I'm sure they know that their record
Just
is.
I say ladies first.
Thanks, Hayes.
Yeah,
What a
ladies
gentleman.
first.
That's fine. Do you identify as a lady?
Today I do,
gosh.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, I better check that. Don't want to get canceled over it.
At least for the game, if that's how it's shaken out.
That is how it's shaken out. Okay, so this is X's and O's. You have the game board behind you. You guys have played before, but just brief overview. X's and O's means you want to try to get a tic-tac-toe. There's a question associated with every single one of those 9 squares, and somebody will get each square. So if you get it wrong, it goes to the opponent. If you get it right, it sticks with you. You will choose one of the experts in front of you, Annie, Hannah, or Brad, to answer the question for you. You will just agree or disagree with their answer. So with that in mind, Trisha, you can go first.
I'm going to go with number 9, bottom
Okay.
right.
Number 9.
Hunter says it's photographed by Ed Sheeran.
Oh, nice choice. All right, there we go. Gosh.
Carry on. That's my answer. Lock it in.
Does it go, look at this photograph?
I don't think so.
That'd
You're right.
Nickelback
It's
isn't as bad as everybody says.
I agree.
Hayes?
No, I totally agree. They're selling tickets. They almost sold out the amphitheater. So
You're wrong. You've all sold out. They suck.
I told Ryan that in the offseason that they're good.
in the off
We
season.
just played Nickelback
Tell me that in the
earlier.
off season.
People just want to jump on the bandwagon of hating
In the
Nickelback.
Nickelback off season.
Yeah, I dipped out of that conversation for the wrong 15 minutes or seconds. Ask the question.
But
Pick
Nickelback
pick
wasn't
an
on
expert.
tour.
Okay, 9.
All right, 9, and who's answering this?
Brad.
All right, Brad, you guys right out of the gate have stumbled into sound, which means that I have a real clip from this week that I have run through AI software.
It's going to be Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, or who's the other one?
Was it Ron DeSantis?
Not
Maybe.
Judge Janine. Never say that as your answer.
Well, just keep in mind that I remember you saying that last week. So maybe I switched things up.
Yeah, but you also like to subvert expectations.
I'm also very lazy. So here is your clip run through AI. Tell me who said this.
This incident, and others, have highlighted the fact that some improvements need to be made in her office. Because she's lost the trust of the people.
Ooh. Who said that? This incident and others.
That sounds like something that Tashara Jones would say,
That's
the
a
mayor
good
of St.
guess.
Louis.
I believe that is correct.
Locking it in?
I'm locking that in.
Okay, you guys.
This incident and others have highlighted the fact that
Nice
some
job, Brad.
improvements need to be made in her office.
You wanna be
because
Ashley
she's lost the
Zeros.
trust of the people.
Good choice.
There you go.
And when she was pressed with that question,
Nice.
her supporters at the press conference shouted our reporter down
Yes.
from Camel X.
We just asked the question.
It's like, you don't
Mayor
ask those
said
questions
this.
here.
That was strange.
Yeah.
It's a press conference. I thought this was exactly where we did it.
The mayor said this. Shut up!
Was that yesterday?
Yes.
I was watching that. That was our crew. I got
yes.
Kevin Killeen
Kevin Killeen.
was the
Yeah.
one who asked about the lack of confidence that the mayor has.
Yeah.
And I don't know that Kim Gardner ever even answered
No.
it because the people were shouting at him
Shouting.
like, we support her. We are the public. It was like,
Wow. Huh. Fun.
Kevin Killeen just doing his job
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
well.
Just reporting.
Hey, I mean, really, just quoting the mayor. I mean, that's what he was doing. Here's what she said. How do you
Wow.
respond? And she just didn't. People just yelled at him. Okay, that's a press conference now. That's what you call that. It means, Hayes, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to go with, let's say, I'm going to go with my lucky number 8, like I always do.
Number 8, who's answering the question for you?
Let's say Annie.
All right, Annie, I'm going to play for you a clip here. I'm not going to tell you who's saying it, but he's referring to a particular team. I just want to know what team he's talking about.
A lot of our best players not doing the job.
St. Louis Blues.
I don't know. You'll have to ask them, Jim. I guess they don't care about the team. I don't know.
Are you calling out the Blues? It's a very St. Louis centered smackdown by all Ryan Wiggins.
Holy
Hey, I didn't say you were right yet.
That was Coach, so you're correct.
That was, in fact, Craig Berube saying that about the St. Louis Blues. Wow.
Guess they don't care about the team.
That was one of my reasons I wanted to use that clip. All right. So we got X and O on the board. Back to Trisha.
Ready. I am. What the heck? It's like I just found the microphone.
There it is.
I'm going to go with number 1. Top
Number
left.
1. Who's this for?
A little strategy there.
Hannah.
Move over, Disney World and Universal Studios. Mattel's Adventure Park is opening later this year and attempts to take on the theme park giants with its own big names, including Barbie, He-Man, and Hot Wheels rides.
That sounds terrifying.
It's more welcome economic news for the same city that just hosted the Super Bowl. What city will the Mattel Adventure Park be in?
I think Hayes knows this.
I think he does.
Big Barbie fan?
Yes.
I
She-Ra.
Can you imagine
You like
being,
putting shrimp on
Can
it?
you imagine walking around a park being followed by like life-size plastic Barbies? And He-Man.
Yeah.
And She-Ra.
Man, here I was sitting here thinking about the Hot Wheels car track that you could ride on. And it's
Nah.
life-size Barbies.
Which town?
Let's see. I have to think about which city. I know the state.
What's the state?
Arizona. That's where the Super Bowl was. Phoenix?
Oh, I wish I knew. Let's say yes.
We're going to say yes.
Yes!
'Cause
Nice job, Hannah.
it was Glendale, which is just outside of Phoenix. So yes.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
It'd be like Chesterfield or something.
Yeah,
Take
exactly.
that.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's good. Yep.
Chesterfield might want to make the distinction.
Especially this week.
Indeed.
Right.
Okay, back to Hayes.
Let's take a break. Let's
Okay.
go to a break right now. We've got 3 spaces taken, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and nobody is close to. Well, no. X's. If they get the center square, is that you?
X.
Trisha is threatening, but it's Hayes' turn. How's this going to unfold? Plus, we need your votes in the YouTube live chat poll. How much of the show's May Disney World trip do you want to see? Let's just put it this way. As Much as Possible has 35%, and None Disney Sucks has 36%.
Whoa.
Wow.
So if you would like to make Hannah's day, you need to go on there
Yeah.
and assure her that you don't hate her, because that's what we're boiling this down to. We'll be right back with more X's and O's in just a minute.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Here at Odyssey, we know that all too often the news is filled with stories that just heighten the level of tension and anxiety in your daily life. So we've decided to puncture those worries and fears like a jet fighter shooting down a spy balloon from China. Or is it aliens now? Who can keep up? And that's the point. You don't have to, thanks to our new podcast, Name That News. We'll play you a handful of clips from the week, wildly out of context, and let you try and figure out just what is going on. Just like you do every day when the news is on, just more fun. Name That News, available now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
TheDiamondShop.net is the website, and you shop at the Diamond Shop in Clayton, you're going to understand why they've been so successful over the years. It's very nice to be able to shop local. It's very nice to be able to support a generational business like the Diamond Shop, who has prioritized all of the right things to make sure that earning your business is something that repeats itself over and over and over again. I hope to send you to the Diamond Shop. I hope that if you're considering buying a beautiful pair of earrings, or maybe a really nice watch, or maybe just something that's going to show somebody some sentimentality, a smaller budget, any of those scenarios, the Diamond Shop is going to take your business and earn you coming back again and again and again. They do it with all the right ways, by respecting you, by helping you navigate that buying process so that you can find the piece that you're looking for, that you're very excited about. And they also offer great opportunities for you to make that purchase a little more affordable. 6 months, same as cash. Super easy to set that up if you're looking to make a purchase sometime this summer. Start that shopping process right now. You can find them online at thediamondshop.net.
If you need a new bath or shower in the new year, call my friends at Bath Fitter of St. Louis. Mark Cox here. We love our new shower and tub enclosure. It looks fantastic. No demolition, no mess, and a lifetime guarantee. Right now, they're having a sale for 20% off up to $1,000 or zero interest until 2028. That's 5 years. Call 636-338-1648. That's 636-338-1648. Bath Fitter of St. Louis.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's St. Louis area attorneys. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town & Country, Missouri, 63017. Online at CordellCordell.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, Dak Prescott here. Why do I choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because better sleep elevates my game. Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed helps me fall asleep faster, keeps me cool, and effortlessly adjusts for my best sleep. That's more focus, more edge, and more highlights. And that means more wins for all of us.
It's our ultimate Sleep Number event. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus special financing. Ends Monday. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
You know, it's Lent, and we want you to come have a fish dinner with us on The Mark Reardon Show.
Fish Fry Fridays start March 3rd with the first one at St. Stephen Proto-Martyr Catholic Church.
Come join us.
The Mark Reardon Show, March 3rd on 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
I always thought it was a weird song for Ryan to request for his theme song, but here we are. So, Ryan, take it away.
Well, my middle name's Rudy, so I always thought Tutti Frutti on Rudy was about me.
It's a good explanation.
Right?
I don't understand you sometimes.
Well, I
It
don't
still makes
understand
me
the
laugh.
song. I just assumed that
You
Tutti
don't
Frutti was a
understand
good
the
thing,
song?
and having it on me being Rudy, my middle name, Rudy.
Are you making this more clear or less clear for yourself?
I'm doing a great job is what I'm doing.
Carry on. Trisha wants to. It's Hayes' turn, though, right?
It is.
Hayes has an opportunity to block should he choose the correct square. We're playing a little X's and O's. We've got an X, which is Trisha's in the top left and then in the bottom right. And we have an O in the bottom middle. Hayes?
Gonna have to go with number 5.
Number 5?
Ooh, for the block.
What a surprise.
Yeah, who did I go with last time? Annie? I'm gonna go with Brad.
Don't blow it, Brad.
I won't.
All right.
Lots of pressure here.
Wow.
I can't lose.
Brad,
I mean, Hayes
blow
can.
it?
I
What are
like
you
that.
talking
Right.
about?
Good point.
Unheard of.
Don't blow it, Brad. Okay. Here we go, Brad.
I bet.
Pressure's on, obviously. I'm going to play some sound here. This is a piece of audio from this week. I haven't altered it. It's J.B. Pritzker. I need to know who he's talking about.
So he moves on and tries to use this word woke to describe everything. He doesn't even know what the word means, and he has no definition of it. It's just anything he doesn't like is wokeism.
What?
You made her listen to it, and you didn't even alter it.
Yeah. The least you could have done is made it sound like Donald Duck.
Or last week made it sound like Morgan Freeman. I don't know where I got that one. I was looking for it again this week. Like, oh, man, I can't find it.
Who you got?
Who is it? Who's he talking about?
Oh, who is he talking about? I think he's talking about Ron DeSantis.
I'm gonna go with I agree.
You are correct. That is correct.
We got a game.
I didn't blow it.
Yeah, Ron
Well done,
DeSantis
gentlemen.
was in Illinois, amazingly. And Illinois doesn't look a whole lot different. So it's kind of a disappointment. All right, who's up next? It's Trisha.
Annie, please, and number 3.
Let's do.
Number 3. Okay.
Wait, see, this is what I did last time. 2. I won 2.
Nope, she said 3.
It's your game, Ryan.
I don't know. I think we might have to go with number 3.
Dang it. Every time I was just getting ready to say this happened.
What's really funny is in the break, you were explaining to
Yeah,
Hayes.
you were.
No, I made a mistake once, and this is what I did.
So for
And
those
then
of
you
you,
did the exact
It
same
was
thing.
this very mistake.
for those of you who are wondering what Trish is freaking out about, Hayes has circle number 8, which is bottom middle, square number 5, which is middle, and then
I have 2 middles.
yeah. So to block that,
You go
Trisha
with-
should have gone to square number 2.
Wah, wah,
correct.
wah. You
But
just
she went to
better not.
square number 3.
If you get this right, you're still in a pretty good position.
You're not in a
Yeah,
bad
that's
spot.
what I thought.
True.
Just not as good of a
It's not
position
the
as
best
a.
spot.
As you would have been.
Right. Anything can happen.
All right, did we determine who's answering this?
Yeah, Annie
Annie
is.
is? Okay.
Please
I'm going to
and
play you
thank
some
you.
audio here, Annie, and I'll ask you a question.
Hello, everybody. That's a nice, beautiful looking group of people. So I know this menu better than you do.
McDonald's.
And Trisha, do you agree or disagree?
Yes, I agree.
Wow.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, when you played that earlier, I'm like, oh, well, somebody's going to get this one pretty easy because I had already made the question.
Well, that clip has been played on every conservative talk radio show 100 times because Donald Trump said something. So.
What menu was it?
Huh?
What-
McDonald's.
Oh,
He
that's
was just
awesome.
at
He's in
McDonald's, yeah.
McDonald's. He's got the whole staff is over there, and he's greeting the staff. He's surrounded by police officers and firefighters, buying all of the first responders McDonald's, and he's in there I mean, kind of like mansplaining to the McDonald's workers how he knows the menu better, but it's Trump and it's perfect.
Right.
It's like
Makes sense.
he says the first thing he says in that clip is something about a bunch of beautiful people. It's like, of course he does.
Yeah,
what Donald Trump
it's
does.
right at the beginning there.
Hello, everybody. That's a nice, beautiful looking group of people. So I know this menu
First thing
better
that he
than you do.
assesses when he walks in a room.
Yeah, these people are decent looking. I would love to walk in and be like, not liking this group. Not real good looking here.
Kind of
I'll
mediocre.
still buy you some food though.
Right.
But- All right, let's see. Hayes.
I guess I'm going to go with number 2.
All right.
Why? Why would you do that?
For the tic-tac-toe.
Crazy choice.
And then I got to go with Hannah.
Hannah, you guys, for the tic-tac-toe, but not necessarily the win yet, but for the first tic-tac-toe, you have stumbled into sound. What you have here is a clip from this week run through AI software. Tell me, Hannah, who said this?
The Attorney General, as others, used this unfortunate incident and tragic happening to this young lady as a political stunt.
Kim Gardner said that, unfortunately.
Can you play that again?
I can. Here you go.
The Attorney General, as others, used this unfortunate incident and tragic happening to this young lady as a political stunt.
Yeah, she's correct. I just had to listen to that again.
The Attorney General, as others, used this unfortunate incident and tragic happening to this young lady as a political stunt.
Man.
There you go.
I just had to hear Attorney General, and that said that.
That's right. So there is your first tic-tac-toe. Trisha.
Great
On a level
job.
of 1 to full
Wonderful.
shame, how much shame do you feel?
I feel like I want to go with number 6 this time.
Yeah,
please.
there you go.
All right, number 6 on the shame
choice.
scale.
And back to Brad.
All right, let's do this.
Brad, there's a new show coming to a streaming platform called Rumble. The Kimberly Guilfoyle Show.
Easy for you to say.
Debuting March 2nd.
Kimberly. Blah, 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 blah.
Debuting March 2nd. There will be 2 episodes per week of the Kimberly Guilfoyle Show. Kimberly Guilfoyle. Please name one of the 3 high-profile people that Kimberly Guilfoyle has dated or married.
Oh,
I'm
I know
glad I
two.
didn't get this.
but she's dated. Don Jr. is one of them.
Is dating.
Is
right?
dating?
Yes.
Confident answer?
Is that?
You just have to give
Are we
one?
stopping there? Okay.
Just
yeah,
one.
That's
Just
correct.
one.
That's what I'm going to
Yes.
go with then.
Going with Don Jr. Okay, yeah, that is one. That's
Wasn't
the
it-
one she's dating
was another
right now.
one like a mayor of San Francisco?
You got it. No,
Well,
you
yes.
know it.
Governor.
Now,
Oh.
Gavin Newsom.
Really?
Yeah. How bizarre is that?
Yuck.
Donald Trump Jr. and
Can't believe it
Gavin
didn't work.
Newsom. Yeah, the third one is some former model named Eric Valenci.
What?
Apparently, he's super famous and was listed in the article. So
Look at that. Look at that. We got a game.
Is your
Yes, we're
marker
tied.
struggling?
Yes, just like me. This marker is struggling.
It's fine.
There's
I don't
something
know.
about us and Invisible Ink.
we got a
I
tie
don't
game
really
right
know.
now.
We do.
All right, actually, technically, Trisha's ahead by 1x since you both have a
Right.
Where
tic
you
So
gonna
her
go, Hayes?
strategy
What are you gonna do?
might have
Yeah,
worked.
yeah. All right, where you want to go here?
Oh, yeah. Back to me. I mean, I'm going to go with, let's go with the corner. I'm taking your corner 7.
Ooh.
7.
Bottom
Favorite
left.
number.
Okay, 7. Who's answering?
Annie?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah. And Baker's on
Annie,
top.
the Asbury Revival has been going on since February 8th, revolving around 24-hour praise and worship at Asbury University. Thousands have gathered, and similar 24-hour praise and worship is now happening at other campuses in the Midwest and South. The question here is, though, in what state is Asbury University?
Kentucky?
I'll agree because I don't know.
You locking in?
Yes.
You locking in?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You got it. Just wanted to make sure.
Scared
It's
me.
a little fast. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah,
I
it is in
answered the
Kentucky.
other question before you asked the question.
Yeah, both of those were a little fast. Maybe I need to make these a little harder for
Kentucky.
Oh,
Kentucky
man.
is correct.
Look at that. I set you
1,
up.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Wait,
Wait a minute, you
put
just gave
Bayette.
yourself-
You just gave me another one.
The wrong one.
We don't even know who's who. This is very serious business.
Wow. I was like, wait a minute. You're about to win.
How did you do it?
No, it is all going to come down to this last square. though.
It is, though.
All right,
scary.
Hannah.
It's not often that this
no
happens.
pressure, Hannah.
Woo!
What did
But-
Ryan say? Don't screw it up.
Yeah.
Hannah?
Yeah, Hannah.
They can't even
Don't
remember
screw it
their
up,
record,
said
so this is
Ryan.
going to go in the permanent record that nobody will remember next time. But here's your question. The Oscars are on March 12th this year. Fox News reports that there is a new crisis management team that's going to be on site at this year's award ceremony. They also reported the names of several well-known Hollywood stars who have been banned from the Oscars. Name any one of the top names, according to Fox News, who have been banned from the Oscars for the game.
Ooh, I have two options in my head. Kanye West?
Ooh.
Kanye West.
All right,
Everyone's like, I didn't hear that, but it's believable.
But wait a minute.
That sounds right. I'll say yes because I have no idea.
I was the whole Chris Rock, Will Smith thing. I was thinking about saying one of them too, but Kanye West has to be banned.
Who's the most bannable person I can think of? Kanye West. What do you think?
NBA.
Yes, she says yes.
She's agreeing. So if you're right, you win.
Okay.
If you're wrong,
Oh man, that was a
Hayes
scary
wins.
choice.
I
I'm
would have
sweating
said
over here.
I would have said Will Smith.
Well,
Oh, you missed it. Come on.
I like that moment. I wanted to let it
I know, but that was your moment. You should have.
Well,
let's just wait until it cycles back.
Yeah, we'll just, okay.
Come on,
Let's
drummer.
occupy some time. What's some other markets you've worked in, Hayes?
What is it?
Tell us about Virginia Beach.
I actually don't know, so come on.
You both are incorrect.
Oh, no.
Incorrect. You should have gone with your gut. Will Smith definitely was one of them. He was banned for 10 years.
10 years.
After last year.
Really?
How is Kanye West not banned?
You're thinking of the MTV Movie Awards.
Oh,
Yeah.
is she?
Common mistake.
Who is?
You want to know who else is? Will Smith, Harvey Weinstein,
He's in jail. so-
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just got sentenced to 16 more years this
Sure.
week.
Roman Polanski, Bill Cosby, and then oddly, Richard Gere, Susan Sarandon,
Really?
and Tim Robbins were banned for a while
Why?
for
What'd they do?
protesting
Yep.
China.
Wow.
In 1993, they protested the occupation of Tibet
Wow.
and were banned for a short time, although they can go back now.
That's something.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
man,
interesting.
sorry about that, Trisha. I
That's
thought
all
for
good.
sure he'd be banned.
I threw the game
Who-
for myself.
You said Richard Gere.
Richard
Susan
Gere,
Sarandon and Tim Robbins?
Susan Sarandon, and Tim Robbins.
It's almost Bull Durham right there, but I guess it's not.
Yeah, and the other ones I thought, you know,
Got banned.
you could
Must have
guess
called him a magic word.
a Bill Cosby or a Harvey Weinstein, but Will Smith was the obvious one.
All right. Good game, guys.
That was fun.
Hayes is a little bit better than Trisha.
Whoa! Hey, whoa!
Good job, Hayes.
Whoa,
On that note,
What a board op we've got. She knows, man. She knows. We
she's
gotta
like,
get out of here.
This can only get worse.
I just
Play
gave
the
myself a
music.
heart attack.
At least
All
we know
right.
Kanye could show up to the Oscars and be all right.
They're going to need
Oh.
something to draw the attention in. Hayes, thanks for being in with
Yes,
us.
thank you.
Check out Hayes on Y98, of course. And Trisha, you're going to stick around for Annie. Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you okay with that awesome music?
It's great.
It's fantastic. So good. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan is helping all of these Annie Frey Show listeners who are contacting him become very, very competitive buyers for homes that they're trying to purchase. The Bagel Loan is the leg up you need to make your offer the most attractive one thus getting you your house. This is how it works. When you use a bagel loan and you work with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage, which is the only place you can get a bagel loan, you are going to be able to go through that whole process, get approved and everything, and not pay any closing costs when that house purchase becomes yours. Saving money on all of those closing costs that goes along with the purchasing of a house can really, really help you make a more competitive offer. You can add in the fact that he can close in 12 days. That makes you a more competitive buyer. And he also has on his website, once you get pre-approved, you can generate your own pre-approval letters up to that amount that you've been pre-approved for without having to wait on somebody to get that letter to you. Again, becoming the most competitive buyer, helping you make that winning offer. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Call him, text him, Google the bagel loan, and MLS number 226715.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. Give your sweetheart an experience rather than a gift, like a night out for dinner or a couple's massage. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service offers insulation services. Did you know 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated? Increase your energy savings and comfort with better insulation. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Well, it's been a slow news week, hasn't it? But we're going to get you through it on the Reardon Roundtable. Jane will be here, former state senator Jeff Smith and Chris Goodson, all on the panel Friday at 3.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I was shattered. I trusted you so much.
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
You know all the love me and I sang like a sad bird. I couldn't move on and I think you were flattered. Oh, lots about joy, lots about pain. It's all about forgiving and the will to walk away. I'm ready to be loved and love the way I should. Life's about to get good.
Shania Twain's kind of an interesting.
Is this Shania Twain?
Yeah.
Is it new Shania Twain?
It might be 5 years old. It's
new to me.
It's new
I'm thinking
Shania
90s
Twain.
Shania
it's not
Twain.
like, you know.
Whose bed
Yeah.
have your boots been under? Or?
It's not a personal question.
Still the one.
You're still the one.
Good song. It's a very good song. Gets me weepy.
So the YouTube live chat poll before we get to Annie, are you okay? Hannah, you want to brief us real quick on the poll?
Yep, today's poll is asking how much of the show's May Disney World trip do you want to see? Do you want to see as much as possible? Are you indifferent about it? Or do you want to see none of it because Disney sucks?
Ryan, do you want to say anything about this poll? Because right now, as much as possible is at 36%, and none Disney sucks is at 36%.
Whoa, we're tied.
There's nobody in the middle there?
Well, there is.
28%, but
28%.
We don't have a
That's how
winner.
math works.
That's the libertarian vote.
Yeah. You do whatever. You do
Are
you.
you?
You have fun. It's up to you.
Man.
I will
Do you
say
want to
this.
advocate for any of them?
Yeah, I will say this, that if you
Love us?
if you that's Hannah's
Yeah,
territory.
Hannah's going to take this personally one way
Yeah.
or the other.
Look, guys, if you make Hannah cry,
Now that's Brad's territory. What I'm saying is
That's terrible. That's terrible.
What I'm saying is that if you like me,
Will you make a good point?
you
Is this
will
gonna
not.
be, or a joke?
No, I'm not saying this. I'm saying that everything that you're going to see on this trip is going to be probably in some way or another at my expense. So
That is true.
I cannot necessarily tell you to vote that you want to see a lot because it's going to be people basically punching me in the face.
That's not true.
Metaphorically. And so I don't know how to feel about this.
Is that an option?
No, it's not.
Ooh, As Much as Possible took its first lead.
Oh, here we go.
It's right down to the wire.
37% to 36%.
We're talking about one vote might make the difference here.
Very
'cause it's
compelling
that
case,
close.
Ryan.
It comes
You're
down to
welcome.
one.
Brad, do you want to advocate for anything here?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to be like judgmental or anything on this, but like, why do you listen to the show if you don't want to see us at Disney?
Yeah, really, what's wrong with you?
I think what Brad just advocated is for people to turn the show off.
That is not what I advocated for.
What are you
guys-
even doing here?
You come hang out with us every day.
We love you.
Yep, we love you. You spend your lunch breaks with us. Those of you who get off early, you spend your drive with us. And why wouldn't you want to go on vacation with us?
It's not about us. Maybe you need to look in the mirror.
Long, hard look at yourselves.
Yep.
So
And this took a turn.
Annie, are you okay?
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Are you
Target
ready
yes.
for Annie?
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Florida State Fair Carnival ride shuts down with riders suspending upside down.
Don't you want to see that on our YouTube channel?
You guys-
Whoa!
It's abrupt. Oh, you were saying when you go to Disney, okay? I'm like, wait, did you guys show this video?
No.
The wheel-like Enterprise ride malfunctioned mid-cycle, leaving some riders upside down while others were flipping back and forth in the wind. The ride featured cabins, so riders were enclosed, but they were not wearing seatbelts.
Ooh.
Right. But from what I can tell, they were only stuck for a few minutes before operators began manually moving things along to evacuate riders and issue refunds, which I'm sure people were super excited about.
What kind of ride was this?
It looked like a Ferris wheel, but it had one of those cages and kind of swayed back and forth.
Those
And about midway
egg-looking
through the
things?
ride, it stopped. And then it started just by wind going back and forth and moving, and people were upside down,
Seems
like
like you
smushed
would
in
still build in a stop that would keep you from going upside down when there are not belted guests.
It must have been super windy because these things were like flinging back and forth. Like, you know, the pirate ship ride at Six Flags? It looked like that. Joker,
All I ever
guess.
think about on those ship rides that just swing back and forth is if somebody pukes and you're just going to swing right into it.
Yeah, it just sits there in the air until it hits your face.
Yeah. Memories.
Mm.
Don't you want to
think
see
about
that
you a lot.
happen to Ryan Wiggins?
Again, I don't know how to tell you to vote on this.
I do.
I can tell you pretty sure, though, that Annie is going to be completely fine with that.
Well, the question is, Annie, are you okay with upside down or intense carnival rides?
Oh.
Not amusement park rides. Like, they can drive it there on a truck and they put it up and you put your kid on it.
They always seem sketchy. And you see news reports about, it'll make a news report, like, oh, they hadn't been serviced in 32 years or something crazy like that. I used to love going to carnivals, but me getting on it and riding it, I don't find that to be entertaining. I want to do that for my kids, and most of them, I'm like, you're not getting on that thing.
Yeah, you trust the ride. I trust the carny, not necessarily the ride. The ride itself, a little sketchy. Carny's fine.
I don't want to disparage people who work in that industry, and I don't want to assume that it's all terrible, but I just don't. No. It's the swings that cardiology exercise. The swings that are at these carnivals, those are super scary.
Yeah.
You're watching like that kid could just fly off right now. What's stopping him?
Nothing.
Now would be an appropriate time for an Okay Annie.
Thank you, Hannah. Southern rock and beer and tents and carnival lights and stuff.
Great.
Yes.
Yes.
All of it.
100%.
Tickets that cost $7 and you need to buy 2 tickets to ride some janky ride. No.
Yeah, anytime it can get there on an F-150 and you can flip upside down in it, I don't know. I don't know.
I
Not
agree.
all about it. Okay.
Next.
Starbucks is launching a new line of olive oil infused drinks that it says will revolutionize the way people drink coffee.
Olive oil in your coffee?
Yep. Here's a quote from the company. The result is velvety smooth, delicately sweet, and lush coffee that uplifts each cup with an extraordinary new flavor and texture. For now, those beverages are only available in Italy, but they'll bring them to Southern California, of course, first in the spring. Annie, are you okay with olive oil in coffee?
No, that sounds terrible.
The Starbucks copywriter
It sounds-
just got handed a gift, though.
It sounds like
Here,
something you
work
do
in the
to
word velvety.
help your digestive system or something.
I think that it is good for. I've heard of olive oil creeping up in diet crazes. Anybody else hearing about that?
Olive oil over seed oil and stuff like that for sure. But
Nope. Spoonful.
no,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Yep.
Isn't
That's what
olive
they're
oil
saying.
one of the few things that can deter a virus, too? So I think there are health benefits to it. I'm just going to assume that that's right without looking it up.
Nope. Everybody's a no on that, huh?
Which part?
Olive oil and coffee.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I kind of want to try it. I don't like coffee, but I want to see what olive oil does to the texture of a drink.
I brought him a coffee.
Makes it velvety smooth, deliciously
Oh, well,
sweet,
then
and
I'm in.
lush.
Says the maker of the drink. I brought him in a
Says
drink
Starbucks.
from Scooters. It was a non-fat, sugar-free vanilla latte, which is what I get.
Delicious.
You've had them.
Mm-hmm. So good.
He said he doesn't drink coffee. Before he even tasted it, what did you put in that drink?
3 or 4 artificial sweeteners, maybe more. Because I just assumed it wasn't going to be sweet.
It was.
And it actually was a little sweet.
I bet it was really sweet.
And then after that, it was very sweet.
It was a small coffee.
Mm-hmm.
4 sweet and lows.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a non.
That's too much. That also doesn't taste sweet. Sweet and low?
Well, it's better than no sweet and low when you can't have sugar.
You didn't try it without sweet and low.
You're right, I didn't.
Okay, so no to the olive oil. Subway, the restaurant chain, is planning to add electric vehicle charging stations to select restaurants across the United States. The company made an announcement earlier this week calling it Subway Oasis. And the blueprint includes charging canopies with multiple ports, picnic tables, Wi-Fi, restrooms, green space, and even playgrounds.
This is brilliant.
The company says the plan will create a dedicated space for drivers to charge their vehicle while enjoying their favorite Subway sandwich.
What's brilliant?
Putting charging stations at your restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like it takes 15, I guess, depending on the make.
Calm down. You
like
sound
15
really
to
angry
20
about
minutes
this.
to charge your car.
Are you going to plug your car in?
No,
Brad, the
I mean,
maker of
I'm
Subways.
going to probably drive a gas car until
The maker of
they
other
don't
restaurants.
exist anymore.
He's realizing it right now.
another
Let me think of this in my chain.
But, if you've got a restaurant, put some things in there and people come in and eat food while their car charges. It gives them something to do while their car is charging.
I think you're right.
It's going to be hard to go against Brad with that kind of tone.
Brad's got an EV station outside his office. Why would you hang out with Brad? Charge your car.
What about Brad? What Brad said, do you disagree with?
I don't disagree with any of it. I just am not going to cross him right now.
Why?
He just seems really, really passionate about this.
Might
Maybe
be.
a little bit angry.
I've got thoughts and feelings about EVs and stuff.
And Subway.
You know what
Subway.
they should not do is have the commercials be done by Jared. That's all I care about.
You have your little stinger thing. All right. And California man who visited the Disneyland theme park in Anaheim for 2,995 consecutive days.
Oh my gosh.
Was just rewarded with a Guinness World Record
A job?
certificate. Right. And an EV charging station. Jeff Ritt's daily visits to Disneyland began in 2012 and ended just shy of 3,000 days in a row when the park closed down due to COVID. He hasn't been back since 2020, but he says he hopes to be back this year for their 100th anniversary. Annie, are you okay with this many Disney days in a row? Like, what's
Come
your
on.
line?
Come on.
What's the limit?
I've never gone and had a problem being there.
Almost 3,000 days. How
How old is this person?
He is, I believe it said he was 50.
I don't know. I don't understand how you do these things.
Is that 10 years?
I need to know the
Every
business plan
day.
behind that to see if I can
He
replicate
started social mediaing it, but
Yeah.
I think the plan was to get in the Guinness Book of World Records, which
One day
this
when I
week
get
he
fired
has.
from this job, I'm going to be a Disney World vlogger. You laugh because you think I'm not serious. Subscribe to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. That's a lot.
It's a lot of days.
Yeah.
Is there a limit to your love?
Well, if he's doing it for a job, that might be his job. And there are people who do this type of stuff. There's my mom is a master gardener. She got all of those certifications after she became retired. And I'll go over to her house and she'll be watching, sorry, Mom, like the most boring YouTube channels about planting and I don't even know what it is, but she does all of it. She watches these people and she implements the things that she wants to, and she has an amazing garden. If anybody's, I guess everybody here has seen my parents' garden, and it's amazing. So there's a YouTube channel out there for everybody and everything. If he's doing this and he's making a living off of it, nobody has to be okay with your way of making a living. If it's serving a purpose, who am I to say no to that?
I guess for yourself, could you do it almost 3,000 days in a row without a break?
I don't think so. Disneyland?
Yeah, not even World.
Yeah, there's less there.
There is less there.
And it's weird because they were closed for COVID. So
that's how that's why he stopped. He was going to keep going.
Oh, gosh.
He did it from 2012 to 2020, so 8 years.
Well, if you don't need to see 3,000 days of me at Disney World. If you want to see 3 days of us at Disney World, Hannah, results?
Here we go.
The results are... Hannah, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Let's hear it.
All right. How much of the show's May Disney World trip do you want to see? As much as possible, Indifferent, or none of it, Disney sucks? The people do love us, and 36% of the people said they want to see as much as possible.
Yes.
Yep. And the poll, hurry.
That close.
35% of the people said they want to see none of it, but guess what? 36% of the people said they want to see as much as possible, so...
All right. We're going to have a live stream of me sleeping. You can see how many times I roll over.
Probably not. Probably not. Although if he is sleeping, Brad, and you want to screw with
If
him.
he is snoring loudly, I may stream that.
I'm going to draw things on your face in your sleep.
These two boys are going to stay in their own room. Hannah and I will be in another location. Thank you for listening today. Please subscribe to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and the Annie Frey Show podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, and keep it right here because the Mark Reardon Show coming up next.
'Cause I don't want to be nobody.
If you need a new fence or deck, experience matters. At Chesterfield Fence and Deck, they've been at it since 1968. Mark Cox here. If you want the sign you have